Mr. Primetime.
Welcome back. Voice slightly coming back.
That's
We'll
right.
Back to normal.
We could actually talk tonight as opposed to last night.
Got some sleep last night. Feeling good.
We're revived, completely revived now. Got a lot to talk about. We'll bring on callers tonight as well. So let's see what we got here. Hello to everybody. Primetime still loves me.
Happy to never talk about you again for at least 4 years.
Yep,
hopefully.
Exactly. I'm so good that shit's done with. What's up, Joe? What's up, Armand? How's everybody doing? I'm starting negativity off. I don't care if you guys want to or not.
There's going to be some negativity tonight. That's fine.
Yeah, there's definitely be some negativity.
Some of it deserved.
Yep. What's up? Hope everybody's doing well. You guys look alive. Good evening.
7 hours sleep, man, last night. Haven't had that in months.
What's up, everybody? So before we get started, a couple little things. Sunday, we will be in L6. L6 is a lot, like the general lot. It's not like anything fancy. So feel free to stop by, say hi, have a shotgun, drink a beer. The way we're kind of doing it is it's not like an official tailgate where we're just going to have all kinds of food and beer. You can come by and give us $20 and do that. We're not that rich. But if you guys want to park in the same area, or if you want to, you park next to us, whatever, we definitely more than welcome. That's kind of how we're going to do it.
Yeah, definitely try to bring your own beer if you can. I mean, we'll have
don't be a Steve.
Some for you guys. We'll have beer pong going on. I'll have plenty of burgers, hot dogs, the basic shit like that. If you guys are really hungry, but if you can bring a little something, please try to do so.
What's up, Steven? Good to meet you too, man. Of course. I think we bought the whole bar shots on Saturday.
Painful logging onto my Wells Fargo day after.
So thank you again. Thank you to everybody that came out Saturday, hung out with us, or Sunday before the game. The tailgate was packed. Definitely appreciate it. Looking forward to this Sunday. Seeing anybody. The home opener is probably one of my favorite games of the year because the energy of the crowd. It's gonna be 80 degrees and sunny. Jets, Patriots. Both teams looking to bounce back off a loss. We both drove. Yes. Going down was fun. Going back was miserable.
For you, because I barely drank on Sunday, so I left right after the game. Got back in time for work Monday.
Yeah, brutal.
Yeah.
What's up, fellas? Yeah, listen, Travis. I appreciate all you guys. Let's talk Jets. We are the outcasts, man. Nobody likes us. So when they do all the Twitter polls and we're not included, we're used to it, man. So we appreciate everybody
Are you talking about the lunch table?
Yeah, it's funny as shit. Yeah. Dude, I think it's funny. We're always left out of shit. It's cool. Like I'm happy.
I'm surprised they didn't have us in the kitchen, serving the food or something.
Yeah, or the janitor carrying the garbage or some shit. So no, it's cool. We appreciate Travis though. Thank you, you, Sasha. A bunch of people mentioned us. We appreciate it, man. But we're happy being our own little community, our own little island. We're good. We're having a blast, man.
Yep.
So, will you guys be live streaming away games? Depends on the away game. If we're not going to it, we probably will do some. Or maybe go to
Denver. We could probably do.
Yeah, or do some kind of sports bar meetup or some shit. Who knows? Gonna be in Lot L on an RV. There you go. Enjoy the tailgate,
Nice.
man. That's not far away at all. So be cool to see you guys shine your own light. That's right. Listen, man, we're just doing our own thing, man. We're having fun, and people don't like it or don't want to associate with us. Well, who cares? Generally don't care. Yeah, no, there was definitely a lot of people in Carolina, Jet fans everywhere. The really cool thing is going into the stadium, it was like a Jets home game, man. Jet fans everywhere. All you heard was chants everywhere, man. It was just
the night before, and even the few hours during the tailgates, it was just nonstop. So definitely felt like a home game. Just wish we had a little more to be excited about once the game actually got started. I felt like that crowd was ready to just take over if we had a few more plays.
Jet fans, we don't get enough credit, man. Jet fans travel well. I mean that stadium at one point the defense chant was loud. Like CJ Mosley was jumping around, like the crowd was going crazy. Just like you said, the Jets are just playing so poorly in the first half. There's nothing to cheer about. You're sitting there like, come on, man.
90-degree heat, sweating our asses off.
Yep.
Give us a little something to cheer about.
No, we definitely appreciate it, man. No, we let's see. I was surprised by the defense as well, to be completely honest with you. It was the young corners played well. Guidry, they did enough to keep him in the game, and then the offense was just so terrible. And I guess that still
bothers me though.
Listen, the defense, when you lose Lawson, you lose Jared Davis, you're losing all these guys. I have a little bit more patience with the defense. I don't have patience with the offense when the offensive line playing like that. I just don't. And the one positive thing is that they made adjustments at halftime. There's a lot of different things going on. Boomer Esiason made a couple interesting points today where he was like, listen, he's like, yes, the offensive line struggled, but a lot of those things, like Zach Wilson held on to the ball too long. He missed some easy reads. He missed some defensive things where there were tells that the blitz was coming. He didn't see it. So those things are going to happen as well. But that's where coaching comes in. That's where you got to figure things out. Offensive line's got to help him a little bit too. And then now you have the whole Mekhi Becton thing, which it's an interesting player, dude, because he's a fan favorite. Everybody loves the guy. He's a personality on Twitter, the big guy, all that. He had a solid year last year. This year, his offseason was a mess. Like he was sick. He wasn't feeling well. He didn't play well. He was banged up. He was hurt. And in this game, the weight thing, was he in shape? Was he not in shape? LaFleur comes out and says he wasn't playing well. And then, the first half of this game before the injury, I didn't think he's necessarily playing all that well. So it's like, okay, and now he's out. And, it's 4 to 6 weeks. I'm probably thinking it's probably going to be 6 to 8 to 10 weeks. He's going to be out a while. That's a serious injury. You're not going to rush him back.
There's the rehab, there's getting healthy, and then there's getting back into actual game shape, which is going to take probably another few weeks after that.
So the unfortunate thing is this could be relatively a lost year for him because you're going to miss 10 games, 11 games. That's a lot, dude. Yep. And now it's at the left tackle position. So we're all assuming he's our franchise left tackle, but he's got a lot of work to do, and he's not going to get that work this year for the most part. He's not, like if he only plays 4 or 5 games, is that enough? You'd hope to get more to build off of. Secondly, now you got to count on George Fant to either play solid or stay healthy. Because if he goes down, then what do you do? And that's where my concerns start coming in. Now you're like, the one thing we said this entire year was protect Zach Wilson, build around him. You don't want him running for his life. You don't want him getting his ass kicked. Week 1, you have a lot of things where first-time coordinator, first-time the line played together, all these things, a lot of shit going on, a lot of chaos, right? But now it's like, okay, week 2, we got to start seeing adjustments because you can't have this again. And now you got to count on Fant to play well. You got to count on Moses to play well. You got Vera Tucker to get his act together. I mean,
I think
a lot of stuff up, man.
I think some of that's also going to come as Zach Wilson just gains experience, learns to get the ball out a little bit quicker, learns to take what the defense gives him. If you got a 5-yard completion right there on first down, just take it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't always have to be the big play. It doesn't always have to be the scramble, run around and, hit a 30-yard pass to Corey Davis. I think as he gets more comfortable with his receivers, with the offense, gets a little bit more experience, I think that's going to help the offensive line out a little bit, but it's got to be better than what it was week 1 still.
Yeah. So, there is some early criticism of Becton. And listen, what I don't understand is I don't know why we've come into a world now where you can't criticize any Jet player or you can't question Saleh or you can't question the floor. And it's not saying we suck or because it's one loss. It's just watching the game and seeing it with our own eyes. Like, this isn't the media telling us something. This is what we see as fans.
Also, it would be one thing if Becton played all 16 games last year, had no injury issues, and this is just a freak issue where Van Roten gets fucking thrown to the turf, guy rolls up on his knee. All right, you shake it off. But when we spent the entire offseason saying this guy's got to stay in playing shape and he's got to stay healthy, protecting the blind side of your quarterback, and the first game he goes down, now it's a problem.
Yep. So, you look at the offensive line, and now it's a little bit of a concern. You got to figure that LaFleur and his staff, they seem like they're very intelligent. Saleh seems like he was pretty pissed about a lot of things too, where they're going to work very diligently to clean things up. But now these guys, you got to stay healthy and they got to play better. I mean, one more guy goes down. If Fant goes down or Moses go down, you're going to start getting back to that really scary spot where all this depth is going to get challenged. So interesting there. That's the one big story. Obviously, this whole Mims thing, which
I thought that was the big story.
Well, the Becton thing, because it's kind of like a topic people don't want to talk about for some reason. I don't know why. Like, now all of a sudden people are beyond criticism, but
I think people don't want to get roasted by Becton's mom. That's why.
Sure, you unfollowed us, so that's fine. Didn't take long. So it's so funny how like all the family members all follow us, and within 2 weeks they all unfollow us. It's interesting. But the next thing is Mims, dude, and I guess I'm in the anomaly because I don't necessarily agree with the way the Jets are handling things. I think there's too many excuses. There's something else going on to say, well, he's got to learn all 3 positions before he plays, and he's got to learn them all 3 to high level. If you're down Cole and Crowder, okay, fine. But like LaFleur's selling point was we're going to maximize these guys' potential in our offense. We're going to find out what they do very well and let them do that very well. Okay, what does Mims do very well? and let him do that, especially when Cole or Crowder out and your offense is doing jack shit. Like, change things up, man, and give him a little chance. And there's something else behind the scenes going on here, dude.
Well,
there has to be.
That's what I was going to say, because this coaching staff was sold as like the opposite of Adam Gase, right? They were going to utilize players to their skill set and, not try to force them into, square peg into a round hole, that kind of shit, right? So 2nd round draft pick of Joe Douglas, you would think there's every reason to get this guy on the field. He obviously has a certain kind of skill set, big target, he's physical, gets after it as a run blocker, vertical threat, good in college with contested catches, all that shit, right? So there's every reason for this guy to be on the field. You have 2 players that are down, and he still only gets 3 reps. To me, like you just said, that speaks volumes that there's something else going on here.
Yep. You
know what I mean? And for Saleh, first-year head coach, what's his number one job this year? Aside from anything with Zach Wilson, his number one job is to change the culture, a losing culture that has festered more than a decade around this organization. So if there's anything going on with Mims, as far as effort, attitude, not knowing the playbook, in some way, aren't they right for not throwing him on the field if he isn't ready?
They are right. But then it's up to Miles Austin, his position coach, and maybe even Corey Davis or Jamison Crowder, these guys to work with him and say, listen, whatever your problem is, let's figure it out. Let's try to help this kid and get him on, because in theory, he should be our building block with Elijah Moore and Corey Davis, because Cole and Crowder may not even be here next year. Braxton Berrios may not be here next year. Like, this is your guy. This is your 2nd round pick, dude. And then you take it a bit further. If he is this problem, last year's draft class is a fucking disaster. Look at what we're dealing with. And you look at, and this isn't even being like, this is just, obviously they have a lot of time left to figure all these things out. But dude, if Mims is this problem, this was your wide receiving help. And the one thing is, we kind of wondered about this offseason when Joe Douglas went out and signed 3 receivers. Like, God damn, he's bringing all these guys in. Either that's a lot of competition for Mims, it's depth or whatever else. Oof.
On top of last year's draft class, you also look at the free agent class of last year. Some of the offensive linemen that were available, we chose to go with what? Fant, Alex Lewis, Van Roten, and McGovern.
Yep. Yeah, he's. I mean, obviously it's one game, and a lot could change over the next 16 weeks. You can see all kinds of changes and improvement. They can get better, they can make adjustments, but man, it's crazy. And then the other thing is all the injuries now. Your linebacking group is completely depleted. They signed BJ Goodson today. Okay, they signed a punter. Wonderful. But now you're going to start piecing a lot of things together, man. Cashman's out. Sherwood's out. Jared Davis has been out. Marcus Joyner's out. I mean, this defense, it's going to be a lot of smoke and mirrors, man. You're going to need guys playing just out of their shoes just to hope they keep this together, man.
I was a little surprised that they gave, what was it, $2.1 million to Goodson, like a rotational linebacker. I mean, does he really move the needle one way or another? If you're going to spend some money, put it onto the offensive line. You got plenty of extra draft picks.
Could have had KJ Wright a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we said that every week, but at this point, like, the offense has to be the priority. If you could add another weapon at tight end, mostly the offensive line, though, I mean, that has to be priority number one. If there's anybody available, whether it's a free agent, somebody that's available via trade, I think that has to be priority right now.
Yeah, no, it's the injuries right now are crazy. You got a lot to look at, and now you got the Patriots coming up. So if you guys want to join us, we will add the link in there, because that's what we're supposed to do. But to me, the biggest story right now is the offensive line, all the injuries. And none of us are calling Mims a bust. I'm more into the thing now where it's like, I want to see the guy play. Like, get him out there.
I just want to know what's going on. Like, they have no reason to not want him out there. He was a 2nd round pick of Joe Douglas, and he's got a certain kind of skill set, like I just mentioned. I mean, there's no reason for him not to play unless there's something going on that
especially look at that play he made in the preseason, dude. We're all like, holy shit, he caught the ball, went, moved around. He makes a
40-yard catch in one of his 3 reps. So,
and the funny thing is, like, some of these takes now by fans are funny as shit, because when the Jets drafted Denzel Mims, it was like a friggin' party. Everybody wanted him. What's that?
Wide receiver 1, we were calling him.
But everybody wanted him. Everybody's so happy. He's got all the talent. He's got this. He's got that. And now it's like, oh no, I never liked him. I knew he was a bust. Like, what the fuck? Like
even in training camp, if you go to Connor Hughes' feed, anytime he said something negative about Mims, it was like a whole list of comments, like just ripping him. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. This guy's going to be a beast. Well,
and right now it's like everybody is kind of siding with Saleh and his staff. And I understand that. There's a lot of things you can give him credit for. To me, something's strange. They're handling it very strange. It's a new excuse each time.
I'm not taking sides until I know like what's actually going on.
But the thing was,
and for him also, like, really quick, like, just to go on the Michael K show, and he kind of slipped, like, saying Mims is the 4th wide receiver with 2 guys out. He might not even be active on Sunday.
Yep. But the thing is, too, is like in a couple weeks ago, it was, well, he lost the weight because of food poisoning. He's a little behind with this, a little behind with that. It was more like a conditioning and just getting back into shape thing. And now it's like he doesn't learn a playbook.
So how does that happen? If he's not healthy and not on the field, shouldn't he face in the playbook for that time period?
And isn't that like, while that is a lot of responsibility on the player, isn't that also what the coaches are for?
That too. Yep.
So we'll see, man.
What's going on that we don't know?
It's just being handled very, very just. I think the whole situation is just very strange to me. It is, and now people are saying, oh, well, they're keeping him healthy for trade bait. Well, you know how you trade somebody? He's got to play and showcase him. And like, I don't, it's such a weird time because as fans, like I still love it. I love Salah. I like what he brings. I think he's handled like. I like he's very intelligent, well spoken. You can tell he's got his shit together. It's gonna take a little time to get everything in place. But it's so weird where if you question him, fans are like, oh, you can't believe you're like this guy's like untouchable.
Yeah.
Like, so
well, that's why I'm wondering if it's more of just like a statement kind of culture thing where he's just not going to put a guy on the field that's not living up to the expectations that they're trying to set as far as, work ethic or playbook, whatever it may be.
That'd be a huge blow, man. Yep. I mean, he's considered like your building block when you're building blocks on offense, isn't he? Him, Moore, and Davis. That's the three guys you want going forward. Because Cole and Crowder on 1 year deals, Barrios and Jeff Smith, they're all on 1 year deals. You like half the rest of your receivers aren't under contract next year.
Nope.
So we will see what we got here. It's always never a dull moment, man. So let's see. We got Punter. I'll let you pick the first person. You can pick it on.
Well, Jake was on first. Let's bring him on. I feel like we pushed him back a little bit last week, so let's bring him on first.
Because he's gonna be like, I said, what he's gonna say? I told you we should have drafted Wirfs, and I told you this, and I told you that. It's gonna be like a lecture from Jake. Watch. Want to bet?
He's gonna be positive tonight. He's gonna be positive tonight.
Nope. What's up, Jake?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
What's going on?
How you doing?
How was the trip?
Awesome. Minus the game.
Trip was awesome. Game sucked. Trip was awesome though.
Minus the first half of the game, at least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, did you have like an open bar? Was like I don't know what you got. I saw like pictures of you guys taking shots with fireman Ed. That's all I saw.
That was not the open bar, and I wish I drank at the open bar instead of the non-open bar, as my bank account would look a lot better right now. But it's all good.
How much is like a beer and like the hot dog in the stadium there compared to like MetLife?
I didn't eat shit in the stadium.
It was like
I ate food during the tailgate.
They think it was actually cheaper than MetLife, to be honest with you. It was a pretty cool setup, man. They were nice. They're friendly.
Most things
were
like $8, $9, $10.
Yeah, it was cheaper
at the prices. Yeah.
Did you guys try any places around North Carolina, Charlotte, or did you guys just pretty much just stay like in the like hotel? Then I don't know. Maybe
we went down. We went to All American Pub. We went to like a couple places down there from like one little area. Then on Sunday we went to a tailgate, and that was it. We were only there Saturday and Sunday. So
did Tyrone survive, or is he? Because I don't see him on here tonight, so I'm guessing
he was on last night, man.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the reason we got so banged up. Like me and Tyson were already a few down, and then this motherfucker shows up like 4 hours late, and then we got to start all over again.
He's always late.
So Jake, what are your thoughts on the game, man? What are your any glaring concerns?
Well, the offensive line. I mean, I said from the start of the season, preseason, that the right side of the line was a concern, and it's clearly a concern. I mean, look, I'm going to give John Becton time, but the fact is like, I don't think it's a given for guys like McGovern and Van Roden. And I honestly, the one thing that shocked me the most was I didn't even know about this. Like when they were doing like Andrew Canelon and like, by the way, Tiki Barber had no clue he was even doing CBS now. They said that George Fant beat out Morgan Moses for the right tackle. I didn't even know that. I thought like Moses had the job. So I was like, holy shit. Like, is Morgan Moses like already like a backup now, like a pure backup? So obviously it's nice to have him replaced for Becton. Like, that's good insurance, but I was really hoping Morgan Moses was going to be the starter. So, it kind of makes me think twice about like, is he really is there a reason why Washington let him go? Like now I'm starting to kind of question that. Like I'm starting to question like my positivity of signing him. Maybe he really isn't as strong of a candidate as we think. Now, of course, like we really want to have our left tackle position filled with somebody. So at least he's a good fill-in, but I mean, I don't know. You guys watched the game. I mean, do you think Moses played well? I can't really tell at all.
My theory as far as why Fant got the start was that I just feel like he was probably better in pass protection. Moses a little bit more of that mauler in the run game. So I think if you were kind of weighing the options, what would you rather have, the ground and pound or keep your quarterback protected? Now, obviously, it didn't work out that way. And, Moses is going to be playing now. Fant, I'm sure, is going to be on the left side. But I just feel like, they went with Fant for the pass protection for week 1.
Yeah, I mean, look, also, I think I said here last week is, this Panther defense is very underrated. I think like Derek Brown looks like he's going to be a Pro Bowler at some point. I really think people did not talk about him enough going to this game. He really has so much potential to be a great player. And obviously Reddick and all those guys look like they did
Burns.
The Burns. Surprisingly, the secondary actually wasn't as dominant as I thought it was. Like Jeremy Chin was all over the place. I told you he was going to be good, but like JC Horn and them, like they actually did struggle. Like, Zach Wilson did have points where he did. Now, of course, like I said, I'm not commenting on Wilson, but I'm going to say, at least for the team's sake, is that they at least were able to get first downs. They scored some touchdowns. They at least showed me they were getting competitive towards the end. That was definitely optimistic. But of course, and I guess everybody wants to hear about, how Sam Darnold played. Listen, Sam Darnold checked the ball.
I honestly don't care about Sam Darnold.
What's that?
I honestly don't care about Sam Darnold.
No, I mean, because I know everybody like wants an opinion about him. It's just, I got to give him semi credit. Look, you got to at least like the fact that he's got some moxie and he showed that he came to play. He didn't look like a complete like deer in the headlights. Now, of course, like I said, he checked the ball down to Christian McCaffrey the majority of the time. It's not a hard job to do that for anybody. So beside the Robbie Anderson pass, he didn't really blow.
I just looked at him more. He was operating within the offense and playing smart football. Like Dan Orlovsky said, I mean, he wasn't going to turn the ball over. He didn't throw any balls that were interceptable, no stupid plays. And you look at the way the Jets offense was playing in the first half, going into the second half, you're up 16-0. I'm pretty sure the game plan is just like, don't turn the ball over, control the clock, and, just keep it, keep the ball away from Zach Wilson. So,
I mean, that sounds like they're talking about him being a game manager. That's not exactly a good title.
For game 1, for a reclamation project that we all said in the offseason, like he had a lot of things that he needed to correct. I feel like if you're a Panther fan, you're looking at that and you're saying, all right, that's a good first step. Obviously, you want to see more.
But I mean, the positive part of that is that the secondary actually, I thought, played decent. I thought the defense as a whole was actually not bad. Yeah. I have to give them I got to give Ulbrich some credit. Like they actually looked like they came to play. Yep. And like Brian Echols, I thought he looked fantastic. He's looking like a very good value pick we got later on.
I think Guidry's a player too, man.
Guidry.
No, the young corners played better than I thought they were going to. They actually defense played better. Like I was hoping for more of a pass rush. Like I was kind of disappointed by Quinn Williams and Rankins. I thought they would do a little bit more than they did. And not stopping McCaffrey was no surprise. They don't have nobody that has the ability to stop him, especially when all your linebackers are getting hurt. Joyner goes down. I mean, that's kind of expected, I think.
We've lost every defensive acquisition except like maybe Rankins. It's pretty funny how like we're really back to the same defense we had pretty much last year with CJ Mosley or add or subtract, whatever that is. But honestly, for Quinnen, like I said, I kind of said this already, like he's going to be rusty the first couple of weeks. The guy came off like foot surgery a few months ago. So I'm not going to really criticize him too much. He's kind of in the recovery phase. I think by like mid-season, he'll be like in that form that we're all looking at. I'm not going to start saying like, oh, he sucks or like he's coming off surgery. He's coming off.
Well, I never said he sucked. I'm just saying I was hoping to see more of a push up the middle of the defense. And you really didn't see that. There wasn't really that much pressure.
No, I would be patient. I'm not too worried about him. The defense, like, look, if this defense is a top 15 defense with all the injuries we've had, like, God bless me, I think it's fantastic. I think they can put up anything like what we're gonna have the next few weeks. Like now we're gonna play like Mac Jones, and then we're gonna have like Teddy Bridgewater, then we're gonna have Ryan Tannehill, which I gotta be telling you, I think the Titans are looking like an overrated team right now. I really am not buying into Ryan Tannehill too much, but I'm not going to think too long into the season now, but just overall for me, I think that the defense shows promise. Corey Davis, I mean, he really is like the Titans really are starting to look like it was a mistake letting him go. Like they really think to replace him with Julio Jones. And like everybody right now is literally shitting all over the Titans for how like Julio Jones looks nothing like, or he looks like a shell of himself. So for Corey Davis, who's still a young guy, he's going to get involved in the offense. I was kind of disappointed that Elijah Moore got like one pass or like two passes. Like why did
he had an enormous drop, dude? Well, that drop
he had two drops, and then he got one more target, I think, after that.
That one drop, that deep ball, that was a killer, man.
I know.
Could completely change the outlook of that game in the first half.
listen, let's be patient. This week's the New England game.
Jake embracing the
There we go.
positive.
See, I told you.
This is
I just look. Well, I mean, I'll be also honest. Remember, Belichick does very well against rookie quarterbacks. Yep. So Wilson's is gonna have some fits, and let's think about their defense next week. They've got Matt Judon, they've got Dante Hightower. They don't have Stephon Gilmore, so clearly that's going to be a positive for the corners. But J.C. Jackson's still there. Is Patrick Chung still there? Or is he gone? I can't remember. Patrick Chung still with the Patriots?
He sat out last year, didn't he? I don't even remember.
Yeah, COVID he did. Yeah, I don't know. He's like back and forth for that team, but the defense as a whole. I'm sorry.
The Patriot lifer, right?
Yeah, he's like the Cromartie for us, like pretty much in a way. Like it's just like overall, like what they have to do is just pretty much try to get a run game, because the one thing we didn't talk about is just the run game was just so inept. And I think in the end, like Tevin Coleman is just like,
but see, Jake, the one thing with that though, it's like we want to establish the run, but every team knows that. So they're gonna say, you know what, we're gonna stack the box, we're gonna go very aggressive in run defense, say Zach Wilson beat us. If they can't protect them, they're gonna just go after him, dude. So I think the running game is not going to be as easy as everybody expects. Like, oh, they're going to go ground the pound. Everybody knows that. They want to protect the young quarterback. They want to, establish it, do play action pass. They all know it. So they're all going to attack it. So you got to adjust and find some of the ways that, maybe you have to pass up the run, something else different then.
Yeah, listen, I hope they get the offensive line situation figured out. Like, I still believe in it. Biggest concern. I'm concerned. I've been concerned since preseason. I think we should be concerned all season now, especially without Becton. And especially if Moses is still, after losing out to Vance, but we'll see. I think, look, against Mac Jones, I think it's rookie versus rookie. I think it'll be a more even game than people think. But at the same time, like I said, Belichick knows how to play rookie quarterback. So we'll see how that goes. But we have till later in the week to discuss it. So,
Jake, thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good stuff, dude.
All right, prime time. We have a very generous.
Holy shit.
I can't believe this. Pleasure meeting you too, man. I think I know exactly who this is. I think we spoke to him, and I'm guessing we spoke to him and his wife towards the end. But thank you very much, man. That is ridiculously generous. So thank you.
Yeah, if you make it out to the game this Sunday, whatever you want, beer, food.
Yeah, I remember.
You, so
yeah, that's amazing, man. Thank you very much.
Appreciate
crazy,
that, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely crazy. And we remain hopeful too. Like it's not. I don't think we're all saying all is lost. I think now it's just we're worried because 6 sacks is a lot. Becton being down is a lot. The offensive line being concerned is worrisome.
I think we're all still traumatized over the last 3 years watching how, Sam got his ass beaten. You're seeing ghosts and we ruined the kid. And now,
bro, I was
first
traumatized
game that Zach Wilson's in there.
When I saw Zach Wilson's head bounce off the turf and come back up, I'm like, how's he not have a concussion right now?
I was shocked by that. I didn't think he was getting up.
Thank you again, man. That's extremely generous. That's crazy. Thank you. We will go to what we got here. Let's go to our friend Sneakers the Boots, another guy we saw down in Carolina.
Yep.
I think you're on mute. Yep.
Yeah. What's up, guys?
How you doing, man?
Good. It was a pleasure meeting you guys in real life. Dude, that entire game was like Jetsed out, like straight up. Like it was probably one of the most Jets games I've ever been to. I know we travel well, but it felt like it was like a legit home game. Like watching Mosley pump up the crowd.
Yep.
And it was a
if it was a closer game, I think the Jet fans would have more of a voice because it was just like the first half was so bad. They're like it kind of took the life out of all of us. We're sitting there like, oh my god, this is like a
that and the Panther fans, like they were quiet, like they weren't getting up, they weren't loud. There was no home field advantage for them. So I feel like the Jet fans, they were just waiting for something exciting to happen to kind of take over that game.
Yeah, because I was actually like on the opposite side of you guys, and it felt like I had to like almost antagonize the Panthers fan to like yell at me. Like everything was about Darnold, and that's pretty much it. But
Darnold, I spent half the game trying to get Sir Purr to take a picture, so I was kind of busy.
He failed. He danced for you though.
He did dance. I definitely appreciate that. He's definitely a showman.
Oh god. So I think I watched Kevin's little rant, I guess, on Sam, or Tyrone's rant on Sam, and Kevin trying to defend that.
Yeah,
dude, you got to give it up, man. You got to give up the Darnold.
Give what up? So hold on.
No, he didn't play.
I don't want to get into this. But he didn't play well. We're gonna say that he didn't play well.
You're thinking Duncan.
If Zach Wilson had that game for the Jets, what would you be saying? Now, again, it's a
maybe have a
4-year
little bit of
quarterback
a
versus a
different-
1-year quarterback. So you expect less mistakes from the 4-year quarterback. Totally understand that. But to say he played a bad game because he played within the system and played smart football, I'm not going to say that. He didn't show you anything elite, but he didn't do anything stupid either. He played smart football. Yeah, he won the game.
I would maybe bad's the bad word. I guess efficient. Like
That's
the
fair.
Panthers,
That's fair.
all they wanted to do was just have short little screen passes. McCaffrey had 90 yards, and he had 40 yards for Darnold, like in the second half.
I can't take
Darnold
because
because the defense had
because the
defense had
we
no
talk
game
about Zach
plan for
Wilson.
him. Yeah,
I can't
Sure.
take
yeah,
the Sam Darnold shit.
That was
I can't.
why the Panthers did that. The
I
Jets had
just
no
don't
game
care
plan
about the
for
Sam
McCaffrey.
Darnold shit. I genuinely don't care.
I don't
I'd rather
see
talk
it.
about Wilson or something else.
So, what do you guys think of Saleh actually like taking ownership of saying we need to do putting Zach Wilson in better positions? Not even just like with the O line being so bad, and then just like also the coaches being held accountable. He's like from top to bottom, everybody needs to be on the same page and try to help this quarterback, even he himself. But like it all is one. If one spot is not in a row, then it's all downhill.
Well, he said it. He goes, we all got to be better. The coach, the offensive line, the running backs, receivers, and the quarterback. Everybody's got to be better. He wasn't lying because they all contribute to the loss. The wide receivers are dropping passes. People aren't picking up blitzes. It was a cumulative effort, bad penalties, the dumb shit. It's a first game though. It's a first time head coach, first time coordinator, rookie quarterback, an offensive line never played together before. Like the red flags were everywhere. Like there's a lot of things that could have went wrong, and a lot of them did for the first half of the game. But they made adjustments though. If you look at anything though, is that they were resilient. They made adjustments. They bounced back to compete in the second half. They didn't get blown out. Like at some point at halftime, you're like, oh my God, this could be in the 30-0 game. Like we're gonna get blown out of the building. And they didn't let that happen. They competed and they bounced back.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it was actually just like a shining like sun, like just listening to Saleh actually say we made mistakes and we're going to try to own them. Like, because we just got the runaround from Gase. I got to look at the film, got to do this, got to do that, and it was actually like kind of nice and refreshing to have somebody actually own up to their mistakes. At least that they know they can learn from.
It's good to own them. I'll give them credit for owning them, but words don't mean shit. Let's see actions. You got to get this offensive line cleaned up. You've got to get these mistakes in offense cleaned up, because I don't care if you lose every game, 31-30, but you got to keep your quarterback upright, man. Like you got to do it, dude. You can't have him running around like this because there's nothing good going to come out of that. He won't last 17 games.
There was the one play where he just smacked his head off the turf, and I was like, he's not getting up. Like I was just like, he's done. He's at least going to be
as soon as he went down, that was right in front of us, dude. It was like, shit, he's not getting up from that.
Like you got to be kidding me.
Yeah. That's what's encouraging. Now he showed plenty of toughness, took tons of hits, bounced back, made some adjustments in the second half, played better. Game slowed down a little bit for him. So credit where it's due, man.
Hell yeah, man. Zach Wilson actually balled out if you really think about it. Like, if you take those numbers and project them over a 16-game season, that's like 32 touchdowns, 16 picks, 4,200 yards. I'll take that all day.
Yeah, but now it's like you wonder, like, you want your offense to have, like, long drives, but now it's like this defense is just decimated by injuries, man. I mean, you look at, you're taking away your veteran safety, your corners who are young and are playing well, but your linebackers are just completely decimated by injuries now. You have no depth there whatsoever. You're going to get to the point now where the guys you signed today are going to be playing on Sunday, which is never a good thing. And then, it's going to be a challenge, man.
It feels like we're back to the last 2 or 3 years with the rotating door. Like a person gets signed either in the game a week and a half later. Like if Red Wine goes down or somebody goes down, the safety was terrible. You're going to be signing somebody.
Red Wine was terrible, dude. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I mean, there may be like a little bit of a scheme adjustment. I'm not really sure what they were running back in Cleveland when he was there, but we're basically going to have to like start doing like Kurt Warner pickings, like picking up somebody who was like doing random things, like a random job. Be like, hey, you want a shot? Because what the hell do we have right now? I mean, I think, was it Nasruddin who got hurt, or was it Sherwood?
Sherwood, Cashman.
No surprise on that one.
It's crazy, man.
We're back. We're worse than we even started, and that's the upsetting part. But more with that missed catch, that changed the entire game. If he makes that catch, I think we win that game.
Game changing, man.
Because he would have made that catch, he would have been down at the 10, 15 yard line. Change of momentum. You're in the red zone. Short field.
Confidence for your quarterback early on.
We weren't
play calling changes. Everything changes.
Yeah, and
total momentum swing on that.
I think what really killed it first was when Robbie scored and did like kind of like the jet plane, and then I don't know if he was just kind of like living his life and just trying to pretend to be a Jet again, or just rubbing it in their face.
Rub it in their face.
Kind of very annoying.
They know what they're doing, man.
Yep.
Sneakers and boots. Good talking to you, man. We appreciate it.
Have a good one, guys.
You too. Great seeing you, man.
Yes, sir. All right, always good. So let's see what we got in the chat here. I know somebody says I'm not triggered at all. I don't care if Sam beat the Jets. I hate losing, but I hate the way they lost with all the sacks and stuff. Let's see what we got here. A lot of things about Vera Tucker, but then also realizing that Vera Tucker, that was his first game played. He didn't play in the preseason.
Elijah Moore too. But,
yep.
Yeah. Expect a little more, I think, out of the receiver.
Yep. Let's see. Can we talk about Marcus? How great Marcus May was?
I didn't think he was that great. I mean, I remember one tackle that was like right in front of us. It was like an arm tackle, let the guy right by him. But
let's see. We got. What is it? Good. Hold on. I hated that first half as much as I hated Primetime's Dracula song recommendation. Me too, man.
That hurts.
That first half was painful, man. I was sitting there like, we drove all the way down here for this. It's 90 degrees. We're melting, and it's just you had like Gase flashbacks. Like there was just such awful play. I'm like, what are we doing?
Could not have written up a worse first half.
No,
combined the heat, the hangover from the night before, no points, a Robbie Anderson deep ball. Life. I'm like, shit.
Traveling 9 hours taking pictures. It was complete bullshit. Yep. Tyson, spelling name wrong. Eat your Snickers. This is what Shala is he to manage. Okay. Shala. Kidoki. Go with that one. Should have kept Bless Austin and put him at free safety. All right. This is not good. I think Bless Austin, there was something more about that too, though. It seemed like he just wasn't a good fit for their culture. Or there's something more than, I don't know. That's my opinion, I guess.
It seemed odd, though, that he was getting all the first team reps for most of the camp, and then you cut him.
All of a sudden he's cut.
Yeah. It was a little weird. But.
Yeah. Like, it's like you don't get a lot out of, Sal in these press conferences, but you're starting to see that he tries to hide things and tries to, avoid certain things, and slowly starting to see that a little bit. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Am I frozen or are you prime time?
I'm good. You frozen? You don't hear me? You don't hear me? I don't know if it's me or you. You don't hear me at all?
Am I back or no?
I hear you. You're good.
Yeah? I don't know what happened there.
You hear me? All right.
Yeah, you sound fine to me. I don't know what the hell just happened.
Right.
Probably my shit. Let's see. Vera Tucker didn't play well though, dude. Yeah. So
nobody on the O-line played well.
I feel
hopefully it was more just like a chemistry issue.
You guys find the kind of person that Jets have coaches that can actually make in-game adjustments. They definitely did that. They definitely did that at halftime, man, on offense and defense. So that's definitely a good thing.
And that's where you give plenty of credit too. A lot of young players. I think the Jets actually had the most snaps by rookies this week. So making those adjustments, that at least felt good.
Internet's holding up as good as the O-line.
Shit.
We're Jet fans, man. What do you expect from us? All right, we will go back to the calls. We will go to, let's see, we got some, I think James was on there a while, but I don't think I see him in the picture. I see a fucking, oh, there he is. There you go. What's up, James?
Guys, I'm good. You know what? This is a cool thing you have going on. It's been a while since I've talked to you, and it's weird. A few people are kind of doom and gloom, and usually that's how I am, right? But I'm going to go the positive route. You know what? I'm going to look for guys like JFM, John Franklin Myers. To me, he balled out. And it was like from start to finish. I love that. We would have loved to seen our guy Q do some things. But you know what? It is what it is. That was such a weird week one where the punter goes down. I mean, such a Jet week one, right? But I want to focus on
great too.
I know. Of all things, it was such a weird game. And the one thing I want to focus on is going to be Zach Wilson. You know what? I'm there with you guys. The way that he battled back in the second half. How many times have we seen a Jet quarterback just hang his head down and be like, well, let's try again next week. Yep. Well, we didn't see that. We've seen Zach come and fire. And so many of his balls, they look good. And there were some drops in that game, especially the Elijah Moore one. That one sucked. But when you're looking at what Zach can do and just the fire, and if he stays in the pocket and we can protect him, we can move. This offense can move, and that was encouraging to see. And I'm pretty happy with what I
got
saw.
a lot of respect from his teammates too by keep fighting, taking those big hits, getting back up. I think he earned a lot of respect on Sunday.
Absolutely, and the defense too, as a whole, as a group. I mean, they looked good. I know the linebacker core is a little bit decimated, but it was good to see C.J. Mosley running out there. In the second half, he was flying, more comfortable. I was pretty encouraged with what I seen. It sucked. I wanted that W, and I really wanted to beat Carolina, right? I really wanted to beat Sam and Robbie and all those guys. But what it is, and we're on to New England now, and that's it. When we go back to MetLife, it's going to be rocking, and I want to see what Zach can do at home, and I want to beat New England. I don't care about Belichick. I don't care about any of that. I mean, my goal, my focus is beating New England. I mean, how long have we waited to get the Patriots without Tom Brady? You know what I mean? And it's just there. He's, it's just there. And I feel like this is, a time for us to, a lot of people think I'm crazy. I've been talking to people on Instagram, and they're like, whoa, you know what? You're overthinking it for New England. I'm like, I'm expecting a game. Remember years ago when Revis shut down Randy Moss and the stadium just rocking? That's the environment.
That was one of the loudest games I've ever been to. That home opener against the Patriots with Rex's first. Yeah. That was an amazing game to be at.
And that's what I want, for Sunday.
The game's not even sold out.
What?
Nope.
For Zach, yeah, I don't know. I think with Zach, people should be more, and I got, people want to see him prove it first, but whatever. We got to beat New England. That's just, that's what we got to do. And there's some encouraging things with all the circus and all the stuff in the first half in Carolina, Punter is going down. I think the way that team responded and bounced back showed me more than, any of the bad
they were
stuff.
They were on the verge of getting blown out, dude. So I think I give them a lot of credit for staying in the game and actually coming back. So I think it's definitely a good thing. James, thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
No problem. See ya.
Have a good day.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good night.
You too. See ya.
Yeah, there are definitely some positives from Sunday. I mean, obviously it's one game, a lot of changes, but it's just the amount of injuries, man. It's like, God damn.
Completely forgot about John Franklin Myers, though. He had a solid game.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did. He's definitely a player coming on.
Kasi played pretty well. He was out there a lot.
Absolutely. No, he definitely did. So we will go to Jets Unleashed. What's up, man?
How you guys been, man?
What's up, man? How are you?
Oh, man, I got a lot of stuff to say about this team.
Unload, man. Go ahead.
All right, man.
Well, he's going to unleash prime time.
Yeah. Well, first off, with Fan, man, he was game beat left and right, man. For the first two halves, man, he was game. No, for the whole game, he was game beat, man. Until Mekhi Becton got hurt. I'm surprised they didn't put Moses in, because he was just getting so. Even the first touchdown we had, Fant got beat, and a couple the first fumble, Fant got beat again, and they didn't do nothing to try to help Fant. Nothing.
I was surprised he was starting, to be honest with you, but
some of it looked like it was miscommunication. I remember on one sack, it looked like Fant took the guy that Van Roten was probably supposed to take, because Van Roten had absolutely nobody to touch. He was just standing there by himself. So then, that guy just came off the edge and lit up Wilson.
Is that where I punched the chair?
Probably. there was a few times. I'm not sure which one that was.
But that could have been the center as well. The center played horribly as well, and he's usually the type of person who points to where everyone and tells them who to guard. So to be honest, it could be the center problem, and he didn't do well as well. To be honest, on the right side, I think the right guard did the most better of the right tackle in that center, and that's concerning, because I thought the right guard would probably be the most. Would be the weakness, not the center or the right tackle. And why the heck would you run to the right more than to the left as well? Our best was to our left, but they wanted more to the right than usual.
Well, the other thing too is you got to keep in mind this is their first time them all playing together, and also the defense kind of they know what we're trying to do. I mean, they're not stupid. They know we want to try to establish the run. We want to run behind Fear, Tucker, and Becton. They gave it's not rocket science what we're trying to do, man. So
every defense that we face from here on out is going to try and force us to do what we don't want to do, which is have Zach Wilson sling the ball 40, 50 times a game. You obviously want to establish the run, make him comfortable, work play action off of that. But if you load the box with 8, you have to adjust. And I think in the second half they did. Now you want to see next week them actually start the right way.
But communication's got to be improved between all of them, though, because you can't have guys running in free like that. I think it was twice that Van Roten was by himself, sitting there looking like, wait a minute, hold on. Meanwhile, fucking Zach Wilson's running for his life.
Right, and there's some rookie mistakes from the QB, and you know what? That's to be expected. You know, he's a rookie, and he's gonna learn on what he plays, man. Especially the one when he was running around and he got sacked, even though he almost got out of everything. You know, Noble
should have just thrown that one away. Yeah,
right. A experienced QB will see that, and so that's totally expected. But just this offensive line, I'm surprised they didn't do max protection for like after seeing they were getting hit so many times, or just do something like try to do quick passes, try to get this defense off the edge or something. Something.
No, listen, man. They had to make adjustments. They had to make changes. I think they were, keep in mind this is also LaFleur's first time calling plays, man. This is his first game plan, his first play. He's got to adjust. You got to figure out what's going wrong. You got to try to identify it as fast as possible, and make adjustments on the fly, which isn't easy. So it's a learning experience, unfortunately. They all got to get better, everybody. And that's hopefully sooner rather than later,
Right.
Back in the booth where he's comfortable.
Yeah, if that's the case.
The only thing I don't want this to happen is we turn to the Bengals and Zach Wilson goes down and we're now in trouble,
If at any point this year we have to go back to the bingo board, we're all in deep shit. Let's be honest. If we start playing Jets bingo on this show, this season's gone completely wrong.
All the rails.
Yep. But the defense, they did pretty well, especially Collar when the first drive on third down, he played aggressive and he did well. These corners, I can't wait to see in this future and see where we're going to be playing.
We need more of a pass rush, man. We need more of a pass rush.
Quinn and Mosley got to carry that defense. If they're not playing like all pros,
do something.
That defense isn't going to hold up.
And hopefully in the future we could stop the giving the short passes, the 5 yards and then they go down and 5 yards and go
wheel
down.
routes, man.
Yeah.
As long as I've been a Jet fan, we haven't been able to cover a wheel route. But thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Have a good night, man.
You too.
No, it's all good points, all excellent points. Realistically, how much can this roster change before the trade deadline? I mean, we've already changed 3 starters today, didn't we? We signed a new punter, new linebacker.
Well, in terms of like doing anything drastic as far as a trade goes or anything like that, I don't think there's going to be any major moves when you're in the middle of like a rebuild year.
Yeah, I mean, there's good to see Snoopy back in here. Jets bingo and draft talk. Yeah, if this shit starts anytime before week 10, we're in deep trouble, man. My liver can't take it, I don't think.
It'll be a long year, man.
Yeah. Yeah, McGovern looked absolutely horrible, more than he's looked like a serviceable lineman. He can't be the guy Wilson has to rely on if he's a couple more games like that. They look like a lot of communication issues, man. A lot. The guys just running in free, which was scary. But, I mean, this is just...
First game altogether. Hopefully they clean it up now.
There'll be a ton of Pats fans with Mac Jones jersey on Sunday. There will be, because the Jet fans didn't buy tickets, man. Freaking, that's crazy. Game's not sold out. A lot of tickets available. So... what you do, man? I mean, it's just
that's the result when you push out a lot of your fans over the past 10 years. The PSLs, all the bullshit, no winning.
Avery Williamson helped us stop the run.
They brought him in today. They didn't sign him though.
Did they? I didn't see that.
Him and Lachlan Edwards were in the facility today.
No shit.
Yeah,
I definitely didn't see that. I missed it.
That's why I was surprised they went with Goodson over Williamson. But different defense, I guess.
If we end up playing Jets bingo, do we fire everyone? Oh, I can't even fathom that right now. I couldn't even imagine. Hey, Primetime, how did your fantasy matchup go?
Not well.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, didn't go as well as expected.
This is fair too, man. There's also the pandemic. I mean, that's definitely a fair point. Also, you could watch the stadium in Las Vegas last night where they had friggin' like 80,000 people going crazy. But hey, it could be a lot of different things, man. It's not sold out though. So we will go next to a lot of people. Holy shit. Got some new people, some old people. We will go to Liam. Oops, I hit the wrong button. My bad. What's up, man?
What's going on?
What's up, man?
How you guys feeling? You guys drinking your Pedialyte?
that was yesterday. Pretty good.
We're back revived.
Nice. At least you guys can recover in a day. I'm 22 and I don't even recover in a day sometimes.
that was my peak, man.
So I want to talk a little bit about Mims. Like, what do you guys think it could be? Like, do you guys think it's like disciplinary, or like, what do you guys think it like could be?
I do, Because, I mean, why else would they not want their second-round pick to be on the field, especially when they're battling injury? This is a guy that Joe Douglas invested a second-round pick in. There's every reason to want him on the field. And like we said, like this staff is supposed to be the opposite of Gase, right? He definitely has a skill set that you could use. Big body, deep threat, plenty of speed. There should be a way to get him on the field to do what he does best. So for him not to be on the field, it says that there's something else going on where, Saleh just maybe doesn't feel comfortable. If it's his job to build the culture up here and Mims is doing something against that and he's trying to send a message like, hey, this isn't good enough. Like, you're not going to see playing time unless you get this shit corrected. I'm not going to totally fault Saleh for that.
Right.
I just don't know exactly what it is.
Something's
saying,
definitely
like,
got to be wrong.
Playbook and everything, but I don't know like how ideal this sounds. But like, even if he doesn't know the playbook, he's still finding ways to get open. He was out there for 2 plays. He still had a 40-yard catch.
But Liam, but here's my question though. They're saying he doesn't know the playbook well enough. Doesn't that kind of yes, it's the player's responsibility. Doesn't that also fall on the wide receiver coach and the offensive coordinator too? Like, doesn't be like, hey man, we need to get you caught up to speed because we need you on the field. So whatever you're struggling with, let us help you get caught up to speed and figure it out. Like, exactly. I mean, it seems like
to some extent, shouldn't that also be on the player a little bit, especially a player that was out for 3 weeks that had nothing to do but study the playbook?
That's true. No, listen,
Berrios knows the playbook, does he not?
Listen, I'm not saying anything. I'm saying, but you can't blame everything on Mims. It's like if you're a coach and your player's struggling, whatever it is, you give them extra help, you give them extra insight, you give them guidance. You say, hey, you know what, Corey Davis, go help this guy out here. We need to give him a mentor. Let's get him up. Aren't they like best friends or something like him and Corey Davis or some shit? Keelan Cole. Keelan Cole.
You guys saw that one Jets drive, right?
Yeah. Yep. So like it's easy to kind of like put all the blame on Mims, but it seems like it's strange, man.
Well, I don't want to blame Mims. It just seems like there's something definitely that's off that we don't know about, that we're not privy to.
It's because how can you
seem like he? Sorry, he doesn't seem like he has a bad attitude or anything, though.
Yeah, no.
Obviously, we don't know him, but like from what we've seen and everything, he seems like a team guy. He doesn't seem like he causes a problem. I don't think there's any of those guys in the locker room. So I don't buy that he just like doesn't know the playbook.
Yeah, to me, it just
seems like you were also saying, Tyson. Like, it seems odd to think that he at least wouldn't know one spot where he could be effective.
Yeah, like, say, okay, listen, like, to me, it's like, like you had that in any sport. Listen, man, you can't figure out all three positions. Then figure out one. Let's start with one and become very good at one, and we'll put you there for now, and we'll expand your roles as the season plays out. Like, there's ways around. Just you don't know all three, fuck, you're out. Like what?
Is he shouldn't he just know one? I mean, obviously you need to know every position on the field, but he should be a wide receiver. Like, this is my position. This is what I know.
Yeah, and the thing is that you can make adjustments with Cole and Crowder out. You need a I don't know. It's just strange. I think this story is just getting started. I think we'll find out more as the season plays out. But
give it like 3 more weeks before the agent's demanding a trade.
Yep, it's something. You're probably right, dude. You're probably right. Where he's like, you know what? It's just not going to work here.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'll let you guys go.
Have a good night, man.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, you too.
Good night.
Later.
Yeah, it's definitely a fascinating story, man. It's just. It's we get a lot of those on our Twitter account, man. A lot of people are predicting that already, saying it's just a matter of time where it's just not going to work. And they're going to try to, just not cut their loss, but say, you know what, change the scenery for him and get us somebody back that's going to help us now. So we'll see.
Yep.
Let's see, we got here. We got Jomo. You could pick. Who you want to pick? Prime time.
Don't make me choose. Who's been waiting the longest? I haven't been looking.
I don't know.
I think Afram's been waiting the longest, but I feel like we need like some chaos before we bring him on because he usually.
Let's do Jomo then. Well, no, we could bring on Mr. Met.
You could do that.
All right, throw Mr. Met. What's up, Mr. Met?
Yes, I got picked. How you guys doing?
How you doing, man?
What's up, man?
Doing good, man. How's Carolina out of the game?
Awesome.
Yeah, trip was amazing.
Like fun. No Sir Purr though, huh? That sucks.
No pictures.
We saw him. Pictures. He was directly in front of us, dude. I was yelling like crazy. I probably yelled at him more than I yelled at Sam Darnold. So he did.
I thought we were done talking Sam Darnold.
Sir Purr broke out a funky dance though. It was very impressive for an animal his size. His dance skills are tremendous.
He moves well, man. He moves well.
And those videos seeing drunk Tyson make an appearance was pretty funny, especially in the argument. He threw wheel passes. Oh, I could do that. That shit was amazing, man.
You should have seen the 2 hours after when we were babysitting.
Oh, there's a reason that wasn't recorded.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
So how
So,
you guys
Leos,
doing?
what are your thoughts on this offense right now? I think the defense, we kind of know that it's going to be a challenge with all the injuries, but the offense, the offensive line, what are your thoughts going into this? What we're doing right now?
Yeah, so the offensive line, I rewatched the highlights a few times, and it looked like the main issues were communication. There was one play where Brian Burns literally ran in unblocked. I mean, this is the number one guy on the line. How do you not do that? He was out on the right side, went to get a guy inside, and Brian Burns just ran right by him. And I think you know what play I'm talking about. Wilson got sacked. So stuff like that really needs to get cleaned up. A guy like McGovern, you could hold him accountable, just being the center, being the leader of that line. You don't expect your young quarterback to be making all these checks and stuff at the line.
So, not to cut you off, but at this point, what do you do mid-season or after week 1 to try and change it? I mean, are you going out and trying to make a trade to bring in somebody, or are you adjusting the offense, more quick throws? Like, how do you adjust
your
it at
play
this point?
calls?
Yeah, like the thing with what a comment on something you said earlier, like you said, oh, we shouldn't have paid the linebacker. We could have went out and got an offensive lineman. The issue is offensive line depth is almost non-existent in the NFL. I mean, there's a reason Dan Feeney started for like 4 straight years in LA. There's a reason we had to see Josh Andrews and Pat Elflein and guys like that last year. Pat Elflein's a starting guard now. Like, there's not a lot of guys, and teams don't trade their good offensive linemen. Like, unless it's like Laramie Tunsil or guys like that, especially mid-season, they're not going to. That's one of the most important.
I just hate that we're pouring so much money into this defense, and none of it's addressing our secondary, and none of it's addressing our pass rush right now.
Yes, but if you go back to the offensive line outside of Thuney, which I don't think he was coming here, like who else was there to get? Zeitler would have been a good option. Guys like that.
Guys
Just
from Oakland,
retracing back to the
Raiders.
Gabe Jackson. Yeah, retracing back to the offseason. But for me, I would do kind of what the Panthers did: quick passes. I expected more guys, with yak plays and stuff like that. Get the running back more involved in the passing game, stuff like that. Get Elijah Moore on some quick passes, not just as a deep threat, considering he's a yak guy too. What really, Mike LaFleur is my biggest disappointment in this game. And I'm not saying, he's done, it's his first game calling plays, but he didn't have one designed rollout, which when, you watch this offense, that's one of the first things that comes to my mind is, faking the wide zone and, going to the rollout. And we didn't have any of that. And that's a way to, avoid the pressure. Guys like, Jared Goff, thrive. I wouldn't say thrive, but had success doing rollout plays, stuff like that. Quick passes. We didn't even see a single screen pass.
Nope.
Some other issues. Ty Johnson tried to catch a back
and that
shoulder
first
pass.
touchdown, Zach Wilson made that happen all on his own too.
Oh yeah, because so roll him out as a designed rollout, and you could have success like that. But moving on to the Mims thing, what annoys me is I feel like there's something worse going on there that we're not going to find out. But for me, to learn all 3 positions, why would you use him as a slot receiver? He's a big dude. He's not this shifty, Jamison Crowder type guy. That doesn't make any sense. And of course now the media is all on Twitter. Oh, I told you so. I told you so. All this crap. But dude, that one play he made and the one play he made in the preseason, you're telling me you can't find a spot for this guy. You're telling me that Jeff Smith and, Braxton Berrios, who was, looked okay, but, Jeff Smith deserves more playing time than Mims. It must be some sort of mental thing, but also at the same time, Douglas is a guy who values so much character stuff. You thought that wouldn't be too much of an issue. I really don't know, but you got to find a spot for him. I understand, sometimes people just use the term scheme him up, stuff like that a little too much. But at the same time, you got to find a spot to use it, especially when you finally use him and it gives you that results like that. I'm really hope we can actually see him this week. If he's a healthy scratch or something like that, I'll be furious, man.
I'd be surprised if he wasn't. I mean, on the Michael K show, Saleh kind of slipped and said he was the 4th wide receiver going into the game last week. And now if you get Crowder and Cole back, I mean, he's your 6th wideout going into this game, and he doesn't play special teams. So how does he help you?
Well, he did in the preseason, but he usually doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
good
hopefully
times, isn't it?
Slip up. Yeah. I mean, let's be positive. Yeah. I mean, Wilson, I think looked good outside of the first half, which a lot of it wasn't his fault. Running for your life like that. There were some, quick passes he could have made. The play calling did not help him at all. It was constantly being 3rd and longs because just running plays up the middle, which I thought we were going to get more outside runs and stuff. Didn't see any of that.
I was ready to break out the bingo board with the first down runs in the first half.
Oh,
Dude, it seemed like Mike LaFleur like grabbed a beer with Adam Gase the night before or something. Like, give me some.
the first half was terrible, man. It was so bad.
Awful, so bad. But it's good to see. I guess you could consider us semi-competitive towards the end. I think the score is a bit deceiving. But I'm glad to see Wilson make the plays he did. But this line's got improved. The fact seeing his head slam down, I would just like, after seeing Becton go down earlier, I was like, no, like that. Like everyone else, I was excited this year. Lawson, everyone has gotten hurt. This is the one guy who cannot get hurt, and seeing that it was that close to happening is just like, you got to open your eyes. And like, I didn't Saleh call the guys out in his press conference saying like, this can't happen anymore. Like this is unacceptable. So like, I'd rather it be more communication issues than on ability to actually play football. Cause I guess that's easier to get sorted out than, learning, how to
hope,
be
man.
Good. But it's a concern. I expect Moses to be the right side. Fant looks a bit more comfortable on the left side. So he'll probably get the start there.
Elias, good talking to you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys have a good night.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Oh, he left us. I was going to ask him a question. But all right. I was going to ask one baseball question, but I guess not. Forget it now.
You can ask me if you want.
He's Elias is the baseball expert, man. He's got his own baseball podcast. I wanted, just wear his Met hat. Wanted to ask him a question, but okay, we will go to Jacob. He's giving us.
I was going to say he's ready to go. Yeah, I was going to say he's ready to go.
What's up, man?
What's up, dude? How you doing,
What's
man?
up, guys? What's going on?
Like your setup. Nice microphone, nice headset.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. How was Carolina? I mean, it looked awesome. I was so close to going, and I just couldn't figure out all the other stuff, but it looked awesome, right?
Yeah, beautiful weather.
Trip was amazing. Bar was amazing. The game just sucked.
Yeah, I mean, that happens, but we tend to be used to that. I actually had a question because I'm thinking, Becton's out now. We're going to swing Fant over to left tackle, and I started thinking like, with Fant at left tackle, obviously Becton, I think he's good, but Fant is such a versatile, lineman that I think having him at left tackle like could open up a lot more, options for Zach Wilson, for him to, roll out to the other side. Possibly Fant could even, because I mean, we know like when he was in Seattle, he was doing stuff at tight end, like he was going out for passes. Like, I think it'll be interesting to see him at left tackle, right? What do you guys think will happen there?
Definitely a little bit more athletic than Becton. I think Becton, though, like just the fact that him and Vera Tucker on that left side, what they could possibly do in the run game to open up things in the passing game with play action fakes and things like that, that's probably going to hurt you. But yeah, I mean, that's a valid point with, with Wilson, the rollouts, his mobility. If Fant could offer you a little bit more athleticism, maybe a little bit more protection, pass protection.
Curious to see Fant against a speed rusher, because that's where Becton was having his problems with. The speed rushers kept getting him over and over. And maybe Fant does better there. I mean, they played it right when Becton was out. I mean, Wilson looked comfortable. It's interesting though. I mean, I'm curious to see how Fant and Vera Tucker played it side by side. I mean, Vera Tucker's got to play better too, man. He's definitely got to.
Yeah, for him though, I worry less just because like experience and all that.
It's his first game, hasn't played the whole preseason, so.
Right. And I mean, what was it like being at the game when Wilson got like rocked? Because I'm watching it on TV with 4 other Jets fans, and I'm like, oh my god! Like
I was kicking things, punching things, and just drinking a lot of beer because I was just, you couldn't believe it, man. Like you're watching your rookie quarterback run for his life, and the hits he was taking, it wasn't like, I mean, he was getting cracked, man. Mm-hmm. It was just tough to watch.
It was tough to see, like watching the first half of that game. I blame you can blame Wilson a little bit, but you really just have to blame Mike LaFleur a lot because I mean, like Elias was saying before I came on, like the plays that they were designing, like they were running the ball into the right side, which why would you ever do that with the left side of this offensive line that we have? I think we way overrated our running backs, to be honest. I love Ty Johnson, but he missed a lot of blocking assignments, and that's his main problem. I think we should use him more in the passing game than the run game. Like Tevin Coleman played not great. He wasn't finding any holes. Pirine, I think when Pirine like actually comes back, he'll play a lot better than people are expecting him to. I've just been a biased fan of Pirine since we drafted him, and I think it's hilarious looking back at last year's draft now and being like, and we draft Pirine in the 3rd round, and we're like, why would we ever draft a running back? Like we have Le'Veon Bell, like he is amazing, and I mean, now we saw how that goes. So I don't know. This is just this team is just. It's one that's just they're young, they're inexperienced. I'm so confident that they're going to get better. But
what's your take on Mims?
What that's a good question. What is my take on this? I mean, it's hard. It's hard to see. It's hard to really understand what's going on. We can all speculate. There's definitely something going on that we don't know about, or it's not that deep. And Saleh and LaFleur just don't see him as a good fit for this team, and they could be as. I really don't know. I really don't know. But I want to ask you guys too. Like, we look at this draft class from last year. Becton has injury problems, but he's been good. Mims hasn't seen the field. P. Ryan was hurt. And then James Morgan's not on the team anymore. Do we start kind of
and Zuniga's on a practice squad?
Exactly. Do we start kind of like to Joe Douglas, who's been a great GM in terms of free agent signings and all that, but
not really.
Has he?
Yeah, I mean
free agency.
You want to give him credit? It's for his trade. The trades he makes are very good.
Yeah, but do we start kind of putting him on the hot seat there with his draft value? Not in terms of like getting rid of him, obviously, but like in terms of his drafting abilities. Do we start kind of looking at that?
See, I think what a lot of people are doing is they're probably going to blame last year on Gase. Oh, Gase had too much influence on personnel. You're trying to get a Gase guy to fit Gase's system. This, like, don't you think though? I mean, you always blame the guy that's not around.
Yeah,
it's like when push comes to shove, it wasn't me. It's the guy that wasn't here.
It was the same. I think the same thing happened with Darnold too. A lot of people wanted to blame all the Darnold keepers. They all wanted to blame Gase and being like, "Oh, Gase is gone now. Darnold's going to be fantastic," and that just really wasn't the case because you look at a lot of things that Gase couldn't control. Obviously they didn't do a good job developing him, but all the same problems you saw in college were there in year 3. His decision-making was terrible. He never looked off his first read. That's something that even without coaching, experience should help that. And we didn't see any development from Darnold. He made one good throw against San Francisco and everybody thought that we should keep him. And it was a ridiculous take at that point, right? Like, yeah, it made.
I disagreed. I was one of those Darnold keepers.
You were? Okay. That's fair. Listen, fair enough. Fair enough.
Just going back really quickly to Douglas, though, for all that we talk about the draft and his free agent moves, the thing I keep saying is if Zach Wilson's a legit franchise quarterback, or at least he shows signs of that after the first year, second year, and Saleh's a legitimate head coach, he's going to get some time to figure out the rest. The problem is if you're not drafting correctly and you're not able to build the offensive line, you're not able to find weapons, you don't have a pass rush, you don't have a secondary, it's going to be very hard for Wilson and Saleh to succeed under those circumstances.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. It's hard. It's going to be. It's just hopefully development, man. I want to win. I just want to see our team win games. It's like that's all. It's like if we can beat the Patriots on Sunday, I'll be there. It would be. I mean, amazing.
I just want to see improvement next week. You want to see a much more efficient offense, better communication, have a rhyme or reason of what you're doing. And not a quarterback running for his life.
Yeah, we got to look like a different kind of Jets. I mean, the offense in the first half looked like a Gase offense. It looked like it did last year, to be honest.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, this is a Gase offense. What is this shit?
Yeah,
not asking for a lot. Just
check. It was bubble passes and screen passes and all that, and we were like, "What do you?" I'm like, I don't want to see Braxton. I'm like, the reason we got rid of Gase is because I don't want to see Braxton Berrios take another screen pass. Like,
running the ball on first down.
I don't need it. I don't need it. And as soon as we let Zach we give him a little bit of blocking, we let him unleash, make him move out of the pocket. We see what happens in the second half of that game.
Hurry things up a little bit. Yep.
Exactly. And if Elijah Moore catches
up, to see more of that, a little more tempo.
Exactly.
That more drop was huge, dude. That more drop was enormous.
It's hard to say we don't keep that game closer if Elijah Moore catches that ball. It's momentum, man.
Yep.
Completely.
Jacob, thanks for calling, man. That was awesome. So what do you have this? You must have a podcast.
I do. Of course I do. Everyone has a podcast.
I knew it.
Listen, I went on it in the offseason. I guess you didn't watch. Thanks, Tyson.
Yeah, I have it on. It was awesome. I want both you on. You guys are awesome. It's called the Hard Count Football Podcast.
Nice.
It's the Hard Count Football YouTube channel. It's on my Twitter at Jacob Cherno. I tagged it right there.
See, everybody else that has a podcast, take note, right? You came on, you gave some good takes, you promoted it at the end. You didn't come on and just say, "Oh, hey, by the way, I have a podcast. Now I'm going to share my take." So you did it the right way. Well done.
I was so excited to talk Jets with you guys. I was like, "Oh my god, I need to do this." I was like in bed. I was like, I threw a shirt on. I was like, I need to do this now.
Well, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, dude.
He was excellent, dude.
Yeah.
Well, very well spoken. Nice job. I'm not worrying about any because the Panthers didn't beat. Can you translate for this prime time? I'm having a hard time reading this.
Not worrying about Becton, maybe.
Okay.
The Panthers didn't beat us.
McCaffrey did.
McCaffrey and
and no
He
one
has
had.
no one of that caliber. If we come out strong and play smart, we win. Oh, New England has nobody of that caliber.
So New England doesn't have McCaffrey, so we can beat them.
Okay, he's not worried about New England because now it makes sense. Okay, I get it now.
Thank you, Vincent.
I'm still more worried about Belichick on the defensive side. I know we've had a few callers that mentioned, what he does against rookie quarterbacks, so that's going to be a little concerning.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, we're going to go to Mr. Jomo. What's up, man?
Oh, Jesus. How do you do, you guys? How we doing tonight?
What is this?
Where'd your video go?
We're here,
Lord of Darkness.
What's up, man?
Nothing much. How we doing?
How you feeling, man? What are your thoughts on this first loss of the season?
You want the positive first or the negative?
Let's go. Let's go with the negatives first. We can end with positives.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, you didn't give me the shotgun Sunday morning.
I was ready.
You and Tyrone. What's up with that? We need it this Sunday. Come on, redeem yourself.
But see, I ended my weekend with a shotgun, which was very impressive.
I didn't see it.
You didn't make it to the gym either. 6 a.m. I thought you were going to be there. What happened? Where was your 5-mile run,
bro?
I was waiting for the picture.
Yeah, no New Jersey Shore. What the hell, man? Come on now.
Brutal, man. Brutal. Things did not go as planned. You know what it was? Things were going fine, but Tyrone was 3 hours late. So we had to buy all this time for him to show up, and all everybody wanted to do was Jameson shots. So it just got completely out of control.
Yeah, Sunday morning just became a non-factor. Then I get it.
Yeah, it was brutal, man.
I couldn't keep anything down Sunday morning. It was so bad.
I don't hold liquor well either.
Yeah.
But
so
no, man, the negatives.
Yep.
So with the offensive line, McGovern played like absolute shit. I think he was the biggest, the guy that I could point to and say he's the one that I could point to and say he's the biggest fault, like easily. Just watching all of Zach Wilson's dropbacks from the game, it's just McGovern either not blocking anybody or just looking confused out there, looking left and right, not blocking nobody, not even like checking anybody. Like it was terrible. The offensive line as a whole, obviously they couldn't protect the stunt blitzes whatsoever. Yep. That's something that they're obviously going to have to work on. The two veteran tackles, I heard Morgan Moses kind of yelled at a tight end and was like, hey, get back in formation. So I like to hear that coming from the vet. The tight end wasn't lined up right, and he was pointing it out. But so, yeah, the offensive line is definitely a concern. Don't want to see Wilson getting beat up out there. But I could also point to LaFleur's play calling in the first two quarters. I don't think it was the greatest. I do like that he changed it up in the second half. That's definitely a positive. But as far as the defense, really no pass rush all game. Nobody was able to guard McCaffrey. He's getting the ball. Either you can't tackle him or you're just not there. That was pretty rough to watch. The safeties, other than Marcus May, I thought Marcus May actually played really well. I think they would have scored more points, but Marcus May had he stuffed the guy at like the 5-yard line. He was like 2 yards away from a first. And I mean, I thought he was just making sound tackles all game. I thought he was playing pretty well. But the other safety, very big concern. The corners surprised me. I didn't think they played as bad as I expected them to.
Yep, I completely agree.
But the defense as a whole kind of surprised me. I don't know how they only scored 19 points. I feel like they should have scored at least 30. But now
that's where the Jets being shut out in the first half, I think, kind of came into play. If the Jets actually put up some points, I think maybe they keep their foot on the gas a little more in the second half.
I feel like they kind of were trying to push the ball down the field. It's just our defense was honestly playing pretty well in the second half. I think we got that sack in the second half. It just looked good football on the defensive end. But, man.
Bring on the positives.
Wilson. And I mean, not enough positives I could say about the kid. The interception, there's two plays that I could point to where he's going to learn from, but the interception, he needed to just dart that ball through there. It really wasn't the strongest throw, kind of tried to get it over the top. But he'll learn from that. The other play was, it was a 3rd and long, and he threw a lob to Ty Johnson on the sideline and it ended up incomplete. It was kind of batted away. Elijah Moore was wide open in the middle of the field. Maybe he kind of didn't trust Elijah Moore because he had a couple drops, but he was blatantly wide open in the middle of the field. Could have seen it. I thought he was looking at him, but he just didn't throw it. But man, I mean, the kid showed resiliency. I mean, coming out in that second half, getting beat up all game, how many times he was pressured. You got to love it. You got to love the off schedule plays, the bombs to Elijah Moore right in the breadbasket. He just couldn't bring it in. The Corey Davis throw in the first quarter, I thought that was somewhat catchable. Obviously, it would have been an incredible catch, but just seeing him roll out and throw that bomb and get it to the receiver's hands. I mean, I never saw Darnold do any of that shit. But and then in the second half, he's hanging in the pocket, stepping back. What you see guys like Mahomes do, they keep stepping back in the pocket because they know the pressure's coming, and then they're able to deliver a strike in the middle of the field. I mean, shit like that is really just blows you away.
Especially after all the hits he took, man. Like sometimes you get like happy feet, you get a little skittish in the pocket. He stayed in there, dude. He kept staying.
Any of that from him. I did not sense any fear in the kid, and that was fucking awesome to see. I mean, like I said, just him stepping back in the pocket, taking those extra steps to give himself the time to throw. I mean, it's great.
He looks super smooth on the run too, man. When he's running, he looks like real like his mobility in the pocket's nice to watch. He's got a good arm. Like it's there's a lot of positives to take away from him. Yeah.
He was making guys miss left and right too, man. I mean, he made like 2 or 3 guys miss on one play. Really impressive.
The mobility, the arm talent, the ability to extend the plays, like you were saying.
Pops off.
That's only gonna get better with more time, and even more so. Like the first half, I think if he just learned to just take what the defense was giving him, take the check down when it's there, take the 5-yard pass. There was one other play. I think it was like a 3rd and 1. Tight end came in motion, wide open, easy first down. Kind of ran around a little bit, threw the ball across the middle of the field. Still got the first down, but it was just like that play was right there. Just take it, move on to the next one. I think with time, experience, he's absolutely
he will.
Yep.
Man, I'm really excited about the kid. Build a fucking wall in front of him. Give him that old line. Amen. He needs time. And just imagine him with a clean pocket. I mean, the kid is special. Corey Davis, I love the Corey Davis connection. Corey Davis came out. I'm happy with that signing.
Let's see Elijah Moore join him now.
Yeah, I want to see. I think Elijah Moore, he didn't get any preseason reps. He really didn't get to play against any other teams. Maybe in the joint practices. I don't know how much action he got. But I think that's a little bit of no experience against other NFL caliber players. It's just kind of the jitters, first game maybe. But he's got to prove it. I really don't have anything to speculate with Mims. I feel like, personally, I don't think the receivers that were out there, Davis and Moore and Berrios was the 3. I don't think they played enough to sub any guys in. I mean, you saw Jeff Smith come out there for 5 or 6 plays. You saw Mims come out for 3 plays, but I think it's more of an issue with the offense really didn't get anything going. So there really wasn't any need for substitution.
But it's not, I mean, like I like with Davis and Moore, I understand it, but I don't think Berrios is that fucking good where it's like, you know what? He's got to get more reps. He's got to get his allocated amount of reps. Like, you change it up with Mims. He's a different size.
But maybe Berrios
like twice the size of Berrios.
Depends on the scheme.
But maybe Berrios got the
running better routes
with Wilson.
Knows the playbook.
I mean, yeah, Berrios was healthy all offseason, so maybe he has the rapport. But man, I'm excited for this team. I don't think we're going to get more than 6 wins. I think we got our quarterback. I think that's all that matters. That's what we wanted to see this year, no? We wanted to see that we got our guy.
Now it's a matter of developing him and keeping him healthy.
Yeah, let's see it be consistent. Let's see the plays pop off the screen, and let's hope that the offensive line could get it together. You know,
Chomo, good talking to you, man.
Take it easy, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good callers tonight, man. We have no arguments tonight. This is a
you
very
always
rare
say
show.
You always do that too early. Wait till the end.
Even
now
we
still have a few people on hold.
Snoopy's gonna be happy. Snoopy's happy with the quarterback. I mean, yeah, we none of us thought that. That's true. We have a Ja'Kai Polite mention. Bring him in. Yes, L6. Carlos made a video on it. L6, get there early. So, but bring food and beer too. don't come empty-handed. Don't be Steve. Don't come empty-handed, please. Let's see. Moral victories in the future won't work. Eventually, we need to win games. Wilson have all talent world, but all that gets eliminated with.
Eventually, yes. This year, no.
Not this year. Yeah, this year doesn't. I mean, this year moral victories will
too many holes this year.
Yep.
To expect a winning team.
All right. So John, we got a blank screen with John. So now we're gonna go to Afram. Afram's gonna bring us into we're gonna go into smooth zone now. We're just gonna be even.
Imagine he just turns the show upside down.
Imagine he be the car that ruins it all for us.
If you expect me to be the voice of reason today, forget it. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, I was ready for it.
Listen, it is what it is. If we look back, they haven't played. The O-line wasn't playing that well in the preseason games. We were hoping they would get better. But
Zach Wilson wasn't getting touched in the preseason.
Well, I'm sure they weren't facing the full, the first team players a lot either. So I thought he should have made some adjustments as quickly as possible. Rollouts, as they mentioned, screenplays. Don't let this kid keep getting, hits left and right. It looked like the offensive line had no communication whatsoever with one another. Guys were getting through with ease. But I'm looking at maybe September might be the preseason, the new preseason in football,
Well, that's why I think it hurt that last game with the rain and everything. If he would have gotten maybe a couple series in that game.
It's five guys playing, new guys playing together,
Yep.
And let's see what he makes the adjustments.
Did you like LaFleur's play calling?
Not in the first half, no, in the second half. But like you said, if what's his name, if Moore makes that catch, which was literally in his hands, it changes. If you got guys 8 in the box, then why are you trying to run?
Yep.
Throw some short passes, let him play, get them off of the front line, okay, and ease it up. But
it was almost like they seemed like LaFleur was like almost overconfident in his offensive line or arrogant about it, like thinking that they were going to be able to do things that they couldn't do, or just weird.
I think arrogant. It might be close to arrogant, but maybe he's got it. You saw a couple of times where the camera went to Salah and he was pissed, and he could see his movement, his it was definitely pissed. What's going on?
Were you surprised they didn't try to go a little bit more up tempo, a little bit earlier?
Yeah, why not go no huddle? Try to do something. Just change the pace. Confuse them. There's not like they were
in that final 7-8 minutes when they actually started to go a little no huddle, move a little
something.
Yeah, look pretty comfortable.
I mean, the kid was keeping them alive. I mean, there was some plays these guys were dropping. You could see his movement. He sees guys open.
Yeah.
He was trying to keep the drive.
His eyes
going.
are always moving too.
He buys the extra time to get them open too.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not too worried about New England after what I saw the Miami game. Belichick blew that game, calling 3 timeouts. They can't stop the run, and he's calling timeouts before the 2-minute warning. He killed it. He killed them. They were just running all over them. He did nothing to Tua. Tua was throwing the ball left and right on them. We'll see. And they're home field, so let's see what happens.
Home field.
Jets are home field. So let's see. I'm ahead of my.
He didn't say home field advantage. He just said home field. He didn't say advantage. He said home field.
Yeah. So,
do you have any concerns about all the injuries on defense?
Go ahead.
All the injuries on defense. That's not a concern.
It's always a concern. Any injury is a concern, especially to your starters. But they're injuries. What are you going to do? You can't. Shit happens. We see it all the time.
Afram. Shit happens. It's just.
It's nice. Right. Whatever. I've been watching this game for a long time. People get hurt. We saw in '99 when Testaverde we thought we had, and
air went out of that stadium.
He falls in the first. Yeah, it happens. We have to.
Oh, here comes the dog.
Next. No, that's my son. Hey, next man up. But I'm just hoping they all should be in the film room watching all the discipline, what they did wrong, and they need to scheme something. So I'm hoping they look each other in the face and say we can't do this to this kid. You know,
No, well, they apparently, like, you know, Zach Wilson's like a film junkie, man. He's always like asking questions, trying to decipher things, understand why it's going wrong. So that's
right. Him, I know he's going to be watching film, but that whole line should be in there with him.
Yep. No, I
and
agree.
Watching him falling down in his face.
No,
as far as Mims, I get a feeling, you know, this guy is not a big route runner. This guy is more of he's a 4.3 speed. He's an Anderson. He's going out and he's extending that secondary. He can, you know, and then use him that way, you know. Just use him that way. He's not, you know, you can't teach a guy who's played all his high school career, a college career, and Baylor where they just toss the ball up and he fights for it, and he was good at it. He's not going to be a slot runner, you know. Right. He's too big for that.
Yeah, nor does he need to be. And if you got defenses that are loading the box and he's a legit deep threat, and you got to keep your safeties back, keep the defense honest.
So now that's a different angle. You can't have guys. You're not going to rotate guys with different. Your job as a coordinator is to, like you said, to the best of what they can do best.
Yep.
You know, what happens if you lose Crowder and you lose Moore? Who's your next slot receiver? You're going to put
Arios probably.
Yeah, and Jeff that's it. Right, but you got to use these guys, and you got to be prepared for any type of situation. And so you should have different aspects of the game. You got a guy who could extend the backfield. For the long ball, I mean, he throws a beautiful deep ball, accurate. So use that. You know,
I agree.
It's to get these guys in the D line. You don't no more 8 in the box. You got to do something to prevent that. And eventually they're gonna see the film also. But like I said, I think September is going to be more of a preseason month, especially with a young team like that. It's all for the best. It's all for the best. That's all we can do. I mean, it was sad to watch this kid getting hit left and right and trying his best, you know, to get out of the, you know, get away from these guys. But there's so much you can do, even if you have all the speed and the moves in the world, you're going to get clobbered if you got 3 or 4 guys coming at you. Especially from the outside, and
untouched,
unblocked,
unblocked. Yeah, so let's see what happens. You guys look good. I love the videos. The chant, even the cute girl and the bartender there, she was smiling when you guys were cheering. So that was.
Can I tell a story about that?
Yeah, go ahead. It's your show. I don't know if that's me.
I won't name names because I don't want to embarrass this guy. But a good friend of ours was, you know, trying to spit some game. Wasn't really going so well. So he went to plan B, which was inside the bar. There was a crane machine with some stuffed animals. So this guy spends $46 to finally win a stuffed animal to present to this bartender. And she has a boyfriend.
You think a pretty girl like that wouldn't be have a boyfriend?
Of course.
Hence why I did not play the crane game.
Yeah. And it was your friend from North Carolina?
No, he was not.
What the hell is he trying to even pick up the girl to?
Guys will be guys. That's why.
Yes.
guys could be guys, but guys got to be smart too. You know?
Yeah. No shit.
Bingo.
Yeah. Yep. You guys are the best.
Have a good night.
Sunday will be.
Have a good night, dude.
Things will change.
Yes.
Be good.
So to go back to JT real quick, the Jets need to pay Marcus May and not trade him. Well, they can tag him next year, or they can pay him at the end of the year. But
I don't think they're going to pay him, to be honest. I mean, I know we have plenty of holes in the secondary, but do you feel comfortable right now giving him 11, 12 million a year over 3 or 4 years?
It's probably higher than that now. With all the new market, all the new money being spent on safeties. I think it'd be higher than that. Eric, we do predictions for Sunday on Friday. We do a Friday show. The Friday show is our preview show, which also means I haven't looked at shit about the Patriots yet because I'm a little bit behind. So it buys me some more time. So, but Jets lose Sunday. Everybody's giving out their dating pointers. What was the best part about this? Let's see. Prime time, your friend did not watch the film.
Definitely did not.
That was a lot of just
certain things you got to find out before you invest that kind of money.
Listen, the lesson number 1 is bartenders always portray like they're single and flirt because they want to make money. Yep. They want you to keep buying more and they want to make tips. That's the way it works.
It's a nowhere road.
For years, man. It's all a game. Half of it's a game. And make good drinks and quick drinks.
Yep.
So we're gonna go to John is there, but he's not there, or he's got like some kind of weird color going on right now.
I see all gray.
Yo, John. Was he driving or some shit?
Can you hear us?
I don't know. Anyway, he goes.
Going once, going twice. So long.
So it's like a light. He must be in his truck.
Yeah.
So they have. You got to give Amendola credit. Absolutely, he had like a 65-yard punt or something like that.
Yep.
So that's a good thing. What do you got from Cody? Thank you, man. You need quarterback sneaks on fourth down. Too many runs up the middle will make the game plan easy for the opposition. Just need to stop that and dare Wilson to beat them. Well, thank you, Cody. Well, quarterback sneaks are great. I mean, it's good, but he was taking so many hits, man. I'm not sure if I want to give him. I don't want to get him hit any more than he already is at this point.
No.
You know,
I understand like the design rollouts and things like that, but you definitely don't want him actually like running the ball too much.
Yeah, I mean, I like Wilson on the run, man. He looks ridiculously comfortable. He's got a great arm. There's a lot of positives, but I mean, the play calling was weird with some things. I don't know. It's week one and a lot of newness, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. We're going to our good friend, man's a celebrity. What's up, Mr. Jose?
Hello, guys.
What's up, man?
How you doing? How you guys doing?
Much better than yesterday.
Jose Crenshaw Rodriguez. He's got a whole new long name now.
Oh, I didn't even see the update on there.
Well,
celebrity shit right there.
I'm wearing a jersey that Darren McLaughlin sent me that can be seen because my name is in the way. But thank you. Thank
what kind of jersey? What jersey is it?
A rugby jersey with the number 12 and my last name.
Well, that's awesome, dude.
So shout out to Darren for that.
That is awesome.
There it is.
Darren.
There it is. Thank you,
that
Darren.
is awesome, man. That is so awesome.
Now, with that being said, what kind of chaos do you guys want today? Do you want low, medium, or high?
I prefer high.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's end the show with a bang.
Let's go. Things I learned this week.
Uh-oh.
Zach Wilson is a warrior.
True.
Both LaFleur brothers are idiots. At least week one.
That's a hot take.
That's true. Both the floors sucked this week.
At least week one they sucked.
Yep, that's true.
They both suck. Let's see. What else?
Denzel Mims.
I'm getting to that.
You made a video about it too.
I'm getting to that.
I was trying to get to it, but there was like 2 hours, 2 minutes of shout outs. I couldn't get to the minutes until the show started.
Sorry. Third, red wine is a better drink than a player. And now,
that's fucking funny.
And now, let's get to my new favorite punching bag, Denzel Mims. Now, Tyson, I know you tried to defend. I know you tried to shoot him some bail earlier, but yesterday, I should say. But I watched the game today, and guess what I saw on the fourth down play when the first play he came in on the 4th and 10. They snapped the ball, and he's just fucking jogging. He's not running. And that catch that you guys are so excited and happy about happened because the quarterback bit on a pump fake. It's not like he beat the guy. The quarterback bit on.
Sometimes you gotta be lucky in football.
Still caught the ball.
And then,
more than Elijah Moore did.
Yes.
That's very true.
But then instead of fighting for more yards or to get in the end zone. He ran out of bounds. He ran out of bounds.
Still got
Saving the
40
clock,
yards.
man.
Still got the touchdown. Yeah. Couldn't get
Get
back
the,
in inbounds.
get the touchdown
What was there, like 3
Before-
minutes left though at the time?
before the 2-minute warning. Good. Oh,
So I'm guessing that you don't like Denzel Mims, is what you're telling me.
no,
Accurate.
I don't. When Braxton Berrios is out playing you, something is wrong with you. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's
That's
fair.
what I'm
That's a
saying.
very, very fair point. I respect that take.
Oh, Panthers. How was
What's up?
fantasy football?
It was
Oh,
not
boy.
good. It was not good.
Yeah, neither was
I was trying to be hopeful going
I
into
got
last night.
killed.
I had
I
a
got
small
killed.
lead, but
I
Cassie
got
saved like
killed.
4 players for Monday night.
Are you lost, Jose?
Yeah, I made the wrong decision. I sat Melvin Gordon up like a fucking idiot, and then he scores 2 touchdowns.
Who'd you play
over
instead of him?
Antonio Gibson, who got hurt in the middle of the fucking game.
That happens.
Yeah, now I know who to play this week. So, and Aaron Rodgers is my quarterback.
Maybe you need to hire
Jesus.
Gate to help you out and get some
Oh,
players in
God.
to play. Only $100. You may get the friend discount, only 50.
I can't super chat, but do you guys have a PayPal or something?
We ain't
Where I
taking nothing
can
from you,
say-
man. No, we're not taking
No,
nothing from you.
no.
Nope.
No, you guys are too good to me.
We'll send it back.
You guys, the chat, everyone,
Just enjoy it.
it's just way too damn good to me. man.
Once you're able to start monetizing
Yeah.
on YouTube, then
I
you can
appreciate
send
you
us a little
guys.
cut.
That's a deal. That's a deal.
Prime time is good commission and shit.
Speaking of which, where's Tyrone today? Where's Mr.
He was on
Those
last night for
Hollywood.
whatever 45 minutes.
Yeah, no signal tonight.
Yeah, I thought you guys were gonna go to jail after the game because Primetime went live and that guy said go back to Jersey and you and Tyrone turned around. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna need to send bail money. It's funny because I was streaming the Seahawks game and a Giant fan came in and was giving me the play-by-play of the Jets game because he actually respects the Jets, thank God, one of my subscribers. So he's giving me play-by-play. I hear, oh shit, Becton went down. I told him if he gets carted off, don't tell me. And he went silent. I'm like, fuck, he got carted off.
Right in front of him.
Ray,
Yeah, he was in tears right in front of
Ray,
us.
what else can go wrong in this fucking season?
So give us,
Hey.
give us your thoughts on your Seahawks, man.
Let's see. Thankfully, Jamal Adams didn't blitz like crazy. Thankfully, he covered for one.
Oh wow.
And yet, Seahawks fans want him to blitz. And when we did blitz him, we gave up a touchdown. You fucking idiots.
At least you guys won.
Seahawks fans are idiots. Seahawks fans are idiots. I swear to Russell Wilson had more touchdowns than incompletions in the first quarter. In the first half, excuse me. And we played a bad quarterback in Carson Wentz. So I'm not taking it as much of a victory, but a win is a win, and I'll take it.
Yep.
So, guys, thanks for having me. Primetime. Get a PayPal and send it to me, because
We're not taking
happening.
anything from you.
Yes, you are.
We will not. I will send it right back to you.
I will fly to Jersey. And
You
give
better
you
start flying.
All right.
Have a good night, man.
Anything else you got? Oh,
Yes, sir.
what question are you gonna ask Elias? I'll answer that. Okay.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask him if he still think the Mets had a chance to make the playoffs.
No. Punter.
Yeah.
What was the name of the guy that came on that has a podcast of his own?
Jacob. Jacob.
Yeah. I gotta look him up on Twitter now.
He was good.
He's got a good thing over there.
Yeah, I'll reach.
Knows his shit.
I'll reach out. All right, thanks, guys.
Have a good night, man.
Love you guys. Shut up.
Shut up. Take flight.
All gas, no break, baby.
We got plenty of breaks right now. Shit. So, prime time. Do you want to bring on Hugh or do you want to end it?
We can go a few more.
Come on, man. I gotta go to fucking sleep.
If you're tired, we can end it.
We'll do it.
Are we doing tomorrow and Thursday too? So we can bring
Tomorrow night we're doing Romeo has our off-season review video, which he keeps saying it's the best one he's done. So yeah. So Hugh, if you want to come on. I saw this.
If you want to do like 2 or 3 more, like just keep them like 3 minutes each. Let people just vent and that's it.
Sandy Alderson coming back to the Mets.
What? Why?
Yep, they announced it. They announced that already. Come back as team president.
God help us.
I mean, how many bad general managers do you have to hire before he keeps his job?
Fuck me.
Come on, Hugh. Let's go. I gave you the link. Let's go. Let's see. Okay. What's up, Johnny? Here he comes. There he is. What's up, man?
What up? What's going on?
How are you?
1 second. I think I got to back you guys up.
Where are we going?
Here we go. All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Sorry, I had you guys in the background there. What up, man? It's good to see you guys in one piece.
Of course.
Barely.
Train professionals.
What a weekend. So I know you guys, I appreciate you bringing me on. I know it's late. I got on late. Just wanted to say, I was on here a few weeks ago. I was talking about, our terrible guard situation we had. But at that time, it was preseason and AVT wasn't there. But I did say Van Roten is still a liability, and he probably going to get our guy. I like to call him Zach Morris killed, and
got Becton killed instead.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Becton is gone because of Van Roten. And it's just really sad to see. And it's also I was not a fan of the move of putting Fant on the right side, especially with Moses. I think he was getting most of the reps with the ones with Fant out a little bit. And it looked like that kind of backfired because Fant looked pretty bad early in the game. And it just looked like, we weren't in sync. We weren't prepared. And another thing that, Tyson, I'm gonna poke at you a little bit because you was giving me a hard time. LaFleur, he hasn't really proven anything. I just said the jury's still out on him. A lot of us was just ready to put the blind faith in this guy, but he hasn't developed a young quarterback in his career. At least I don't see the receipts. I don't know what's going on there. The first 2 quarters are scripted. Right? Like the first 15, that's scripted. That's what we spent all offseason game planning. And like, you got to adjust quicker, bro. Like we don't have to wait always until halftime to get an adjustment going. Like the defense is on the field the whole damn time anyway. What the hell are y'all doing on the sideline? Like make some adjustments. Clearly our offensive line wasn't getting a push. Make some adjustments. Our quarterback is getting killed. Get him on the move. Do something. And I know it's, no one's hitting the panic button. It's just want to call out what we see, what's going on here.
I agree.
And you hope that they address these things. And another thing that's really just concerning is right now it appears like our front office and our coaching staff aren't on the same page. Like what the hell's going on with Mims? Like he's on the roster, use the dude. Like whatever happened to having coaches that knew how to adjust their freaking schemes to what they can do. Don't tell me what they can't do. Tell me what they can do.
And that was their selling point.
Well, I don't want to go I don't want to go as far as to say that Douglas and Salah aren't on the same page yet. Douglas
Correct.
might be completely fine
bit of a push,
with
but-
Mims not playing. I mean, just because he drafted him last year doesn't mean that he fits what they're doing now.
If he's
Especially
not fit,
knowing what the
like,
issue is.
let's not have him collect dust on the roster. Like, there's only 53 spots. Like, we got to do something about this. So the excuse about him not knowing all the other different positions, like all the different letters, man, figure out what the guy can do. Put the dude on the field. He was there limited time, and we had an explosive play. So again, I don't care. If is your scheme that rigid that you can only have freaking Barrios out in the slot or whatever? Like, figure it out. Adjust. You know what I mean? Like,
meanwhile, they say that their offense is player friendly. Like, that's
what I'm saying. Yeah, all that talk this offseason, of just, so that was just, it was upsetting to see. Now, hopefully they can adjust because Bill is going to take away Davis. He's going to take away the run game. He's going to confuse the hell out of our offense. So it's really, we're looking at probably potentially 0-2 if we don't figure this out.
You got to figure. Hopefully, you have Crowder back. Hopefully, you can get Elijah Moore more active this week. You got to change, and then maybe get the ball to the running backs out of the backfield. You got to change things up a little bit, man. Like, you're gonna have to the quick passing game, and take some shots down the field. You have Mims. Mims flies, dude. Like, you even like a guy like Jeff Smith fly. These guys, you have some speed. Like, you got to stretch the field a little bit, take some chances.
Just take a shot. At least keep them honest. Man. Open it up, or they're going to put everybody in the box, and it's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
So,
but the defense is going to be a challenge, man, because I think that there are just so many injuries, man. You're going to have so many guys back there, especially now with Joyner out. I mean, that was the one guy I was worried about the most. It's like, all right, May's solid, Joyner's there. You have two veterans behind the three young corners. We can kind of guide them and lead them through things. But now, who the hell's playing next to May now? Who's going to be the starting corner, the starting safety?
We had a guy out there. I had no idea he was on the roster.
Fucking terrible, dude. Redwine was so bad.
And now, hey, two things. I mean, Ashton Davis better step up whenever he gets healthy. This is a great opportunity for him.
Absolutely.
A lot is riding on Jody's first draft class.
Yep.
I mean, guys are dwindling left and right.
Excellent point.
So this is going to be a huge step up for him. And we were talking about this weeks ago. I mean, that's the game, man. Injuries happen, and it's the teams that have the most depth that can take it the distance. And we're not there yet. We're a few years. We used to say we're a few years away from being a few years away. Yeah. I think we can say we're just a few years away, because our offensive line is still not where it needs to be, and we have so many holes. Like you guys put on the defense.
Well, I agree with you. We got to hope the holes that we have don't hinder the development of your rookie quarterback. Like, you don't want these holes to be so bad where it's like Zach Wilson's going to be a year behind because we can't get him to friggin' have a clean pocket for, 25 minutes a game.
Correct. I mean, at this rate, fellas, he may not make it out the first quarter of the season, the way he's getting hit. And I appreciate the kid trying to show us, hey, I'm tough.
It was impressive.
I can play the game of chicken, but dude, you're gonna get killed. You're gonna get killed, and we certainly don't need a Joe Burrow situation here.
But the one thing that I kind of thought about with him, like looking back at it, is that being that kind of player, that tough, that fiery, getting back up, picking him up, that's the kind of way Josh Allen earned the respect of all his teammates in Buffalo, running around, taking hits, getting up, like. That's because right now everybody's like, all right, you're this pretty boy from BYU that can do all these things. Didn't get hit in the preseason. Nobody knows who you are really, other than a rookie quarterback. This is how you earn your stripes in the locker room. Where like he's getting the shit beat out of him, gets back up, and then he came back in the second half and actually played very well. Really, like, you know what, this kid's got something. Like you can start buying in. Like you start getting that leadership role. You get that respect in the locker room. Where guys will buy in. They'll fight a little harder for you.
That's cool to see.
That's one positive, to be honest with you.
For sure.
And it was like, and his body language too, like other quarterbacks in the past, whether it was Sanchez or Darnold or whatever, when they were getting beat up like that, their body language was horrendous.
We saw some shots of him on the sideline. He looked like he was having a rough day, fellas. But just like you said, he could have tanked it in, but he didn't.
Yep.
I'm gonna earn this C that I have on my chest, and I'm sure he impressed a lot of his brothers in the locker room, because you heard him say what they had to say after the game. That was pretty cool. This is the first time they actually got to see him in action, really getting hit, and he kept getting back up, kept getting back up.
Fighting. Yep.
And I know not all of the pressures and sacks are strictly on the offensive line. I know some of that's on him as well.
Yep,
we knew we were going to go with these growing pains, but it is encouraging to see that he performed better. It's encouraging to see that we actually made some adjustments at halftime. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate we've come a long way from not having any adjustments, and now we're having them.
Yep.
But I was hoping that LaFleur would have been jumping on things a little bit sooner. And I try to tell you guys, I did a lot of research on what people were saying in San Francisco. Of course, when they lost Saleh, everybody was hurting big.
Yep.
Mike Shanahan had 2 in-game coordinators. LaFleur was the passing. They had another guy that was the run game coordinator. In essence, Mike LaFleur was expendable, and the other dude wasn't. Mike Shanahan kept on to the run game coordinator, and he basically felt like he can continue moving on without Mike LaFleur. So that is the guy who's leading our offense right now. And let's just be patient before we start, really recognizing or giving praise to LaFleur. He's really
dude, listen, when we were doing we did the game preview, on Friday, it was like, listen, I'm like, we're all encouraged by a lot of things. Like when we saw the motion in the preseason, all different schemes, like, wow, like,
oh yeah,
because the Gase offense was so fucking bad.
Oh yeah.
That when we saw like just an early sign of a competent offense, like this
is night and day. It's night and day. Yeah.
But the same thing, he's a first-time coordinator. He's got to learn. He's learning like Saleh's learning.
Play caller. I think 2 days ago was the first time he's ever called a game live.
Yep.
Fellas. I don't think he's got any receipts of ever calling games before.
No. So that's the whole thing. So it's like now you're looking at the whole thing where it's like, all right, he has his scripted plays. They're not working. How does he adjust? Where's he, when things are going wrong, how quickly can he figure it out? How does he communicate it? Like, he's probably like, and the same thing, his head coach is a first-time guy too. So and he's got a rookie quarterback. There's a lot of shit that went wrong at the same time where it's like, all right, but the one positive is that at halftime they figured things out. And and the one thing I like about Saleh is he's involved in the offense. It's not like he's sitting there and be like, you know what, that's your offense, that's your problem. He's actively involved. He knows what's going on. He knows the play call, the assignments, what's going wrong. I mean, prime time, you see it. Like, he'll break it down. Like, listen, the offensive line didn't do this. The receiver didn't do this. The quarterback didn't do this. Like, he can answer the question what's going wrong. So at halftime, he probably sat down with the group and said, listen, here's the things we got to fix. And they did it. So I agree with you. Listen, the whole staff has a lot to prove. Yeah. It's a 17-game, not an audition, but a 17-game learning process for all these guys to prove, all right, we can keep getting better week in and week out. This is the right guy to run our offense. And hopefully he is, but
I just want to make sure I'm not calling for anybody's head. You know what I mean? It's early, early in the game.
One more loss, and everybody goes.
No, not even there. I'm being realistic. I don't see us winning more than 5 games this year. I just always felt that way.
Yep.
We'd be lucky to get to the 6-7 range, right? And everything you said about Saleh being the CEO approach, having his pulse on the offense of what they're doing, I'm all for that. Guess what? We're just buckle up because we're all going to be able to witness what goes on, right?
Yep.
But I personally would like to make sure he pushes a little pressure on LaFleur about really using all the talent that we have on the damn roster.
Yep.
Like, this was a great opportunity for Mims to play on Sunday. Like, there were so many people playing down. I mean, Elijah Moore disappeared. Like, I need a second-round pick to play, all right? And I need a freaking second-round pick to pan out. And
how about the Raiders not playing their 4th overall pick?
I know.
He's inactive. So
but, and I heard something about that
early.
too. We got to be mindful. It does look like Mayock has been making a lot of swings and misses. However, I don't know he's making all the decisions over there. But they also just switched up their defensive scheme too. So Gus Bradley, I think, is who's over there.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the reason why it's not panning out
but dude,
for number 4.
If you watch that game, John Gruden, for a veteran head coach, the mistakes they were making late in the game were mind-blowing. The kicker's not being ready, false starts, delay games.
And how many years this is what, year 5 for him?
Dude, that's like rookie coach shit. Like they win in spite of themselves. Like, all the dumb mistakes they made for supposed to be a veteran team with a veteran quarterback is wild, dude. But but you make really good points about LaFleur. I agree. Like, you want to see him grow up with Zach Wilson. Them both get better together throughout the season and make sure the offense he's bringing to the table makes sense for us and it works for all the talent that we have. And you can start featuring guys like, listen, all right, Elijah Moore struggling. Let's find a way to get him active. Like you said,
Let's get him going.
I think obviously if Corey Davis has potential to be 1,000-yard receiver this year, so teams are going to start keying on him. How do you adjust to that? How do you get the ball somewhere else?
I mean, it's going to happen this week. I'm telling you, if you guys got Corey Davis on fantasy, sit his ass because you know Belichick's going to take that away. It's like he's clearly going to take that away, and then he's going to say, "Zach beat us," right? But if our offensive line isn't getting it done because it has its deficiencies, we should know this, especially if they've been giving us challenges during camp. Adjust it, get this kid on the move, do things to keep the defense from pitting their ears back, keep them off balance, and just make adjustments a little bit quicker and protect our guy. I just want to see this kid make it so we can actually see what he can do. You know,
like to see him with a clean pocket and have some time to throw the ball, dude. He's got some serious arm talent. He really does. Like you could see, he's got some crazy natural ability. So.
Yeah, and he's got heart. So I mean, we could work with those things. We may have our little Josh Allen in the making.
Let's hope.
Yeah,
Hugh, good talking to you, man. See, this.
Thanks for.
Primetime didn't want to bring you on, but I said we got.
This turned out to be the longest call of the night. I thought it was going to be 3 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's. I mean, we in the season, guys. I'm excited. School's almost done. I actually just submitted a paper, so I appreciate y'all staying late, and it's fun. And keep the content up, fellas. It really helps us get the weeks go by.
Thank you for joining us, man.
All right, y'all. Have a good night.
Later, dude.
There's this.
Primetime. Where is this? Vinny says you haven't spoken much. Are you okay?
I was fine all night. That last call, I wasn't saying much that last call because I thought you wanted to end it quick, and then you kept going with it. I was like, all right.
I love you, man. It's like you because I know because he likes to just fuck up me a little bit. He's like he thinks because I know what he does. He watches the videos I make. He takes little notes because you see how he's reading. He takes like little things. Yeah, I know what he does. I'm onto his shit. But so tomorrow night we have I think we have to figure out what time it is. But Romeo made a video of all our off-season takes, which I can only imagine what these are. There's probably some really bad ones there.
Really bad.
So tomorrow night we do that. And then Friday we have our preview show, which will be fun. Jets, Patriots. And then Sunday it all begins. L6, our first home tailgate with Prime. What are you making?
Told you, man. I'm bringing everything. The usual. Hot dogs, burgers, onions will be there. Sausage will be there. Probably some ribs, some steak, some scampi. Doing it all.
And how did you do in fantasy football?
We discussed. I lost.
I lost too, so don't. Yeah, I was pretty bad. All right. Well, thank you guys for all joining us. We definitely appreciate it. Tomorrow night, I think it's at 9:00. We're gonna do it, and then Friday night, and I think we may even see Javid on Sunday. Man, he may even stop by and say hi.
Let's go.
As his Scarlet Knights are playing football. So talk to you guys later.
Have a good night.